All right, looks like StreamYard has told me we're online. So, hey, this is Aaron Carson with Role Playing Public Radio, and this is the Patreon game, first one for the month of March. So, we are playing Eclipse Phase 2.0, and the title of this scenario is called Generational Gap. For today, we have three returning players who I'm very grateful to have. So, starting off from the left and going down, we'll introduce your character, who you are, and your characters, starting with Brownie.
Hi, I'm Brownie. My character is Jinx, a Neo-Avian uplift who is a Titanian citizen, very loyal to the Mercurial movement, and is a veteran gatecrasher with over 36 trips through the gate under
Nice.
her belt.
Okay, that's wow. So honestly, considering the fact that you've been able to find a lot of planets without with being able to come back, that's pretty impressive. Although beginning this, as I said before here, this is a firewall mission. So what was the inciting event that brought you into firewall?
Well, it's a little bit foggy, but one of the trips through the gate.
So it was one of those situations where you were told that you did very well, and here's the trust that we have set on you, but you don't get to know that knowledge. So, or it's in a backup somewhere where you don't have to worry about it.
It's hidden behind a certain call and response phrase. I don't know.
So, oh, good. Oh, activation phrase. That's a good thing to know. So, thank you so much. All right, Dan.
Hi, I'm Dan. Tonight I'm playing Estika. He is a survival engineer, a xenoarchaeologist, and I cannot find the spot on the pre-gen where it says why he's in Firewall, but I know I read it at one point.
Oh, no, that's up to you completely.
Back bottom?
Yep, back on.
Back bottom. No. That's the team.
So
Well, that's the front bottom then.
Yep.
maybe
Doesn't
so.
say anything about Firewall there, though. Ah, I'm sure it's fine. Oh,
Okay.
nope. Yep, freelancer, Martian Gate, blah, blah, blah.
Well, ultimately, that's up to you. So if you
Yeah.
like to,
So, and his muse is Musalinda,
Usalinda.
or Mucalinda, depending on
Okay.
however that's actually supposed to be pronounced.
All right.
And
So-
he is tonight in a Slitheroid.
Slitheroid, nice. That's actually a pretty good gate crashing suit if we ever need to go, especially into zero G. So excellent.
It's almost like they planned for that when they gave us gate crashing pre-gens.
Maybe just slightly. All right, and playing a first time in Eclipse Phase 2.0, Hellspawn.
Hello, I am Mr. Hellspawn. I'm playing Koga. Um, he was a mercenary who, on one of his jobs, he was hired to protect a settlement. But basically, his sleeve blew up defending the town, and so they had a spare one. But the problem is the spare was a Sylph mod, and it was actually one from an otaku guy, and so basically he's trapped in a robot body of an anime catboy.
Oh,
After that, he's gained a bit of a reputation as the Soldier of Senpai. It's a name he doesn't like, but he just wants to basically survive and figure out what's happened, because ever since he got into the suit, he's forgotten a lot about his past and just wants to get out as soon as possible.
Well, and if nothing else, being able to save up for a different morph of yours, or to be able to at least get out of there, is a big thing that a lot of egos, especially people who are either in simul space or at the very worst cold storage, are dreaming of. So that's something that any job can bring up. But that being said, what brought you into Firewall? So, are you familiar with Firewall?
I'm familiar with Firewall. I've done some Koga's done some work for them, and
Okay.
he's also done a bit of gate crashing work with different mercenary groups and different outfits, basically whoever will hire him. But mostly he feels good working Firewall because he knows he wants to find a purpose, and that's a good purpose to, do good at least.
All right. And again, just part of this, Firewall, again, just a reminder, usually finds you in certain situations, depending on what extremes you have. So, as you may have found out before, at least the town that you were going through, trying to defend, that person that just seemed like crazy was a bit of an ex-human. And that's like you were brought in to make sure that you weren't carrying anything of the exsurgent virus at this point, which thankfully you weren't. But experience breeds necessity, which is all why you were being brought in. For us, the information that you're given initially, it states that you are being brought into that's like a mission specifically within the Titanian Commonwealth. They are that's like need people with experience. That's like gatecrashing experience, but this means that you will be sleeving into pre-prepared bodies of your own specifications. So everything that's on your sheets is basically as is. You may have Koga. You might have asked for something a little bit more set, but they wanted to let you know we need to go bare bones essentially for this particular mission. So you all. That's like, and also they want you to sleeve in with something as easily close to your own body to make sure that the integration tests do not fail. So, this being said, right now you don't have to worry about that. This is just almost exactly your own bodies. Once that's like, however, before you are put in, you are meeting with your, with your particular sentinel. So, to be able to bring up information. And a sentinel and a proxy to basically help bring you in. The symbol space that you're brought in, surprisingly enough, seems to be more of a outdoors palatial gardens. So very well lit. A lot of that's like exotic animals that you probably wouldn't see anywhere else, or should be on Earth at this point if they were not horribly mutated or converted by the Titans at some point. The proxy who you're meeting with looks like a that's like tall, very stern woman in glasses and a general business suit, something you'd probably not see out of the hypercores. And Brownie, I will actually give you the honors. What is the name of your proxy?
Let's see. Let's go simple on this one. Just Proxy Blue.
Proxy Blue. So. That's like so named because anything else. She always has a particular blue shade of lipstick, which kind of makes you wonder why she chose something that would be a little corpse-like in the appearance. But she welcomes you, sits down. I am sorry to bring you in without as much information prior to this, but we have a situation that not only requires normal discretion, but also a bit of a necessity for risk. So I can't really say, at least put it in any other better terms today. That's like, I understand that all of you have general gatecrashing experience, but this one in particular will be general. So, and no, this is not going to be this is not the 9-foot tall vampire woman. We're not doing that today.
I was keeping it off stream, Aaron. I was keeping it clean.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
So, no, we're not. As long as we're not going to step on me situation. So this is not that. That's a completely different symbol space. So
that's a different role play.
Yeah, no, thank you.
General.
No,
yeah, we're good. So anyway, but she brings up different images around there of a particularly large generational ship called the with the name of Tachyon Pass on it. She explains to you that they departed the Titanian Commonwealth 3 years ago with the reported mission of being able to establish a new colony further outside of the confines of the Sol system. This is not unknown, as the Titanian Commonwealth actually is one of the main purveyors of interstellar ship travel and not having to rely on any type of gates. However, this is one of the biggest ones that they had ever planned. It actually had the total crew complement that were being put into cryogenic suspension was about 2,000 total. This was basically to be a full planetary colony that they were wanting to establish. However, that's like it was reported as missing about a year after its into its journey. It had not responded to any of the other buoy hails from communication buoys that have been placed along the way by other generational ships, and after that they considered it to be completely lost, and no one else pretty much thought about that until about 2 months ago. a signal was received at the Mars Barsoomian gate. So that actually provided the the confirmation codes from the Tachyon Pass. This was a massive surprise to everybody because they assumed it was lost, and they ended up sending out a couple of AGI scouts to look into it. What they found was that there was apparently a gate of unknown design on an asteroid that's like on an asteroid, not a full planetary base. And above it was the Tachyon Pass, which looks like it had seen much better days, along with a flotilla of ships numbering to about 20 in various different sizes and shapes. Not any of these conforming to what would be normal planetary convoys or even scum swarms to this point. So, as she brings us down, we obviously cannot let anything from this flotilla come through. So one risk being the fact that they very well may have come into contact with alien life forms or structures that due to the fact of the ships that they are around and the fact that they could be carrying any type of number of illnesses, different possible Titan encounters or infections. We have no idea. The AGIs that were sent out attempted to make contact with the AGI crew that had been set to control the ship within simulspace, but unfortunately we haven't gotten anything back, so direct contact will be needed at this point.
Okay, but the AGIs came back, correct?
So they did not.
So you sent through... Wait. I thought you said you sent through AGI agents that told you that this is here, and then they came back, no?
We sent transmissions through the gate, so to make sure that they come back. But unfortunately, this is where we get into the other point of the necessity of this mission. Because of the potential for exurgent exposures, we made the decision to go ahead and scuttle those particular agents on base. We are under the hopes that this will not affect you, given your experiences and hopefully protection. But do need to let you know at this point that we are currently backing up each of your egos. You will. The morphs that you're currently going into right now all have kill switches initiated to them. You will be past the codes once you are on site, and once you are done, you are to report your findings. Let us know if there's anything safe or not, and then activate the kill switch.
Wait, what? Oh, you mean turn it on so it's enabled?
Well, no.
Activate it so
pop our corks.
So once we get through pop our... Wait, what?
Go through, do the job.
Right.
Basically turn the bodies off.
Yep.
And we'll get restored into our original bodies.
Okay, but how are we getting the information back?
Transmit.
You'll transmit the information back to us.
If we're transmitting information, we're transmitting whatever's infecting us.
We have everything else right now. We have things that we've taken care of. We have precautions that we have taken care of. You'll be able to... everything else right now sent to us will be sent. Will be sent through Faraday. So it's completely isolated from the rest of anything else. If we suspect that you have been infected right now, then that gives us our answer, and we can proceed further with our other plans.
Wait, you think we've already been infected?
No, not at this moment. So
okay, could have sworn that's exactly what you just said. I am confused.
Okay, so sorry about that. So if you're looking at it, she looks at you again. But basically, the whole plan is you are to go through the gate. You all have kill switches enabled too, because they cannot. But you will not be allowed to physically come back unless you have a confirmation that there is no exurgent over there. Because at this moment, they suspect that there is a potential risk for anything. You can send communications back, but they have completely locked that down, so it is isolated from any other systems.
Okay, so signals come back, go through an air gap, they deal with it.
That's correct. So, yes.
Okay.
So, but mainly the reason that they are looking into this is because the fact that, again, a ship that was missing for 3 years has somehow either gained or spawned a minor fleet, and they have no idea if this is a Titan work or if this is something else that they've encountered with before.
Well,
Also,
and also it's like I got a gate asteroid that's in traveling with it, or do we know if it's got any? I mean, is it moving? Do we know anything?
she sighs and looks up. This information, if you do come back, is not to pass between anybody else. This will also, it's like if you do die, this will be excluded from your backup memories. She brings up another report, and you see that that's like a year prior to the Tachyon Pass, launching, a firewall report of a team that went down to Io.
Mm-hmm.
On reports, excuse me, not Io, Europa, my apologies. So, that were looking into odd energy emissions that were coming out. And what they ended up discovering was what looked like an ancient version of a Pandora gate that was not mechanically made, but organically grown. And it's like what Blue looks around and says, what we discovered through our investigations and the information we were able to pull out before this particular gate was scuttled by the fire team that was sent through, is that this is actually a factor-based one. And Koga, just for your information, the factors are one of the few known alien races in Eclipse space. So basically, they're living mold. It's like mold colonies. So that we do have interactions with, but they are pretty weird. They mainly communicate through smell, olfactory senses. So
that's amazing.
So a couple of questions for me.
Yes.
Were they sent through a gate to get where they are now, or did they get there under conventional power?
The ship itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Tachyon Pass went on its own. When it's on its own way, what it actually found out is that Firewall managed to get a sample of this particular spore, and apparently, was attempting to keep it under wraps right now. But they learned that it was taken by another agent that was not. That was a little less scrupulous, and whoever in the Titanian Commonwealth was actually attempting to store it on there and then make a gate that they could port back to. So essentially creating a new avenue of commerce for them that could be interesting, that could be almost immediate, as well as making the possibility that they could literally have a generations ship that could seed Pandora gates along their path.
Yeah, and when you say generational ship, that means these people were awake for their long voyage?
No, the majority of them were in cryosleep. So they were put into a suspended animation during this time.
I mean, why not just cold storage with, morphs that you grow when you get there?
So that's a question that they came through as well. That's a bit odd. So
That's weird.
The question of this right now is that they decided that it was more cost effective to basically have everybody else already processed and done than to reserve the energy for that. So, but this is a bit but as of right now, that is all that you can get from it. So, but
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds simple enough. Just get in, get out.
Yeah. And so, and you're absolutely right. So it's not technically on there too. So, but this is also part of the general lie that was brought up as well. So that they're.
Who were they lying to? Who cares? Why would this matter?
So, a lot of weird technology there. That's kind of, you would think about that. So, but also I will say, bringing that up too, they are pretty close to the Jovian Republic though. So
who was very close to the
Titanian?
Titanians?
Yeah.
I mean, they're close to the Jovian Republic. Doesn't mean that. I mean, okay, politics. I don't know.
But in any case, the base mission of this again is to jump through the gates, make sure that determine what's going on right now. Also determine that if there's any particular risk that is being involved with that's like this factor-based gate technology, and to report back if it seems safe. You might be able to return. If not, destroy it. That's like destroy everything that you can, and make sure that that's like nobody else can come through. So, that being said, any other any other questions or concerns before going?
Just to make sure I actually understand, because there's several layers here that are not at all clear. That's okay. We go through, we look for exsurgents. Exsurgents bad, kill exsurgents, blow ourselves up. No exsurgents, all good, come back. Right?
So, that's like the baseline of it too. So,
You see,
I'm
I
looking
like
for
the way he
shortest
told it.
possible
It's
scenario.
really simple. I can follow it. I didn't need the rest of it. Get in, kill people, get out.
Well, or
I'm
not
fine.
kill people if they're actually people.
yeah.
And we don't necessarily have to kill people either. We just have to destroy the gate,
Well, or whatever.
so
whatever
nothing else can
exsurgent
come
we can
back.
squish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that is the the base concern of what is going on here. So, all right. Any other questions before you're loaded?
Why do you think there's an exsurgent?
So, well, that's like again one we have the gate technology that has seemingly right now that's like something that we still don't understand too, and also was something that was directly stolen from us. So
So, do you not also have a copy of it?
No, that information was the information was taken away and deleted. So, and we
Okay. So, would you like a sample of that?
absolutely not. So,
Huh.
that is a massive risk and something that we can test we cannot test anymore.
Also, how do you know that there is no more of that sample left behind with whoever launched the ship?
Well, that's what we're going to find out on our side.
Okey-dokey.
So this is where your main concern will come in.
All right. But again,
So-
what besides that, what exsurgents do you have evidence of exsurgents, or is it just it's a lot of weird ships and there's no way this could have happened, and what the heck happened?
So that's given the fact that most of the ships, and she brings up information, the designs right now. You're seeing designs that don't conform, like I said, to any particular known. That's like known Earth-based designs or Sol-based designs, and the fact that that's like it only did this during a time frame of 3 years. So,
Well, they're ships. See, there's no. You don't have any evidence that the ships were created there. They could have just joined it. I don't know. Who knows where they came from? Maybe they came through the gate.
so it is absolutely a possibility. But given the fact that anything could have been made or compelled those ships to join them right now is something of a risk that we can't take. So we need to make sure what these are first before we send anybody else through.
Right. Go through, find exsurgents. Exsurgents bad. Kill exsurgents. Got it. Let's
Yep.
go.
Okay. So, all right. So at this point, you are all sleeved into your bodies. So you are. No integration tests are needed since everything else, except for, I will say, the one issue that you all know you have a kill switch within you, which is a bit if you're not really used to that. So, as you're getting through, you're actually going through a particular gate that had been uncovered within Triton. So, and will be utilized from the outside of it, outside of the normal gate right now. This is one of the other nice little secrets that the Titanian Commonwealth has been holding on to.
Okay, so is Firewall working with the Titanian Commonwealth, or are we piggybacking on are their agents going? What? Does Titanian Commonwealth know Firewall even exists,
So,
or are we
they're
sneaking through their gates somehow because we have assets?
so you have assets there. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Simple. Good.
Yeah, yep. It's the Titanian Commonwealth. Basically, it is Firewall using their assets as needed. So, that being said, you can, before we get started, you can go ahead and request any particular gear that you might need. So, if you want to take a look at that for a second. Okay,
Always Guardian Swarm if you don't have one.
that's fine. So, I'm more than willing to take that off.
standard loadout plus something big enough to blow up the gate, should we need to?
Yes, I will say that if you want to, that could be just general either explosives, or if you would like, I would actually allow one disassembler swarm.
Do you want to carry that? Because
I'll take the disassembler swarm. I don't have any
Yep.
explosives expertise.
Okay, yep, that would be good right now for this.
I assume that we have our standard loadout for the pre-gen.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So everything else that would be in
Can
there.
we get?
and then-
Do we think we need bigger firearms, like I don't know, plasma rifles or whatever those things are called? Big shooting guns.
the bigger part of that.
Mostly, I just put things together. But if you need me to take things apart, do we have the right tools? That's all I'm asking.
So yeah, I would say that most of the loadout right now would be just general gate crashing stuff. Right now, this is just anything specific. If you needed anything, thought of anything specific like heavier arms, I would allow them in one instance. Although I will say that will need and.
Well, if you don't think we need it, you don't think we need it. Obviously, you would like the mission to succeed. So
Yeah. So yeah, if you think right now, that's fine. So, and as depending on the ship right now, if you get lucky, you might have access to fab units that are available as well.
Also,
so,
are we going through on a ship, or are we just popping out at this gate in vac suits with what?
oh no, you're going in. That's like you're going in your vac suits or any kind of armored suits that you might already have. So. So, since the gate itself is enclosed on an asteroid with a minimal atmosphere.
Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't be bad for Koga to have a Star G squirt gun.
So
I like
okay.
what he said. That sounds amazing.
So, yep, I am completely okay with that. So, we can go through that. All right.
That can be our heavy ordnance.
Yep.
Okay, so actually, setting question. So I'm in a synth morph. I assume I don't need a vacuum suit to operate, but I would assume that we still need some sort of, I don't know, reaction jets or something to get around.
Right now you're in microgravity, so you will have enough to do that. It depends on what you do, what you have available to get on. That's like off of the asteroid if that's available. So
All right, so is electronic rope long enough to get us places we're going to need to go?
that should be fine for what you're needing. So it's
Okay,
not a bad
cool.
right now. So.
And there's no signals going back and forth that we've been able to monitor through the gate or anything?
No, as of right now, no. So they basically have shut off everything else. It's like until you're going in there to minimize. That's like to minimize any kind of general exposure. So. All right, but so it sounds like you have everything else. So. All right. No dying over there. So not yet, at least. So. All right. But in that case, everybody else, we will. That's like they activate the gate itself. So you've all been through here before, but it is still a pretty. That's like NASA. It is a still pretty difficult thing to go through. So everybody, go ahead and make a will test.
In all these pre-gen sheets, that would be the second number.
Yes.
Fail.
Oh, ooh.
My
Well,
will's
that's-
not that great.
That
Oh, is
will
it
is
not?
really quite low. Fortunately, I made it freakish.
Sorry. Yeah, I failed as well.
Okay. So for anybody who failed, you will. It's like it won't be that big. Go ahead and take a 2 lucidities from that. So you're all experienced gate crashers, so you know what the experience is like. It's just an unpleasant roll.
This is normal.
Yeah.
What is insanity rating?
The insanity rating too is if you take enough. I believe trauma threshold. Not the trauma. The different traumas on there, I believe. So, and it's a general overall sanity mechanic. So, and if
All
you
right,
go,
I will not worry about it until it comes up.
Yeah, so wouldn't worry about it as much. So. We're still operating mostly off of lucidity anyway. So,
Yep.
all right. So that being said, all of you come out. That's like for those of you in vac suits right now, you're definitely breathing a little bit harder too, and you notice that even through the suits right now, it is definitely that's like you can feel a little bit of the chill as your systems are going through are adjusting to the new environment on there. On where you're at right now is basically just a giant asteroid. So definitely that's like almost putting on to the level of a planetoid. But around you, you can see you're definitely within a large. It's like a larger asteroid belt, maybe even some more akin to what you would see within the Kuiper belt. And above you, yeah, it's a bit of a shock as you do see the enormity of the Tachyon Pass sitting above you. And like they said they were shown in the footage, there is about 20 different ships of varying sizes that are maneuvering all around it. None of them seem to be none of them seem to be hostile as far as you can tell. Most of them are, like I said, various sides from what look to be different transports, fighters, freighters, but they keep basically pulling different, going to some of the asteroids, and they look like they're pulling materials. So this, as of right now,
materials with them, or huh?
It almost looks like some of the machines right now are landing on some of the bigger asteroids. You can't tell if anybody is getting out or not, but...
And we're sure that this is the Kuiper belt of our solar system.
No, this is not the Kuiper belt of your solar system. So this is a completely different asteroid belt.
Okay, so okay. So
this ship left Sol.
We're far enough away that the ship could not have made it in real space?
No.
No, we're not, or no, it couldn't have?
This is, as far as you can tell, this is where it's like this should be within a normal space. Although, does anybody else have any kind of astrogation or different astronomy abilities, knowledges that could help them with that?
Yes, I don't know, asteroid mining, aerospace, physics, flight crew ops.
All right. What's your score in aerospace?
Aerospace, 65.
65. I will allow you to roll that at a negative 20. So.
Nope.
Okay, yeah. So for the little, it's like, so even though you're talking about more about the flight through space, you do have a little bit of knowledge for stars and whatnot, and where you're seeing it, you're not recognizing anything as that's like commonplace markers.
So again, so in other words, the Tachyon, whatever it's called, the big ship could not have gotten here on its own gas. Basically, it's too far away.
As far as you know, but like I said, but the information is
based on a normal ship going through real space. It's farther away than it should be.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, that's all I was trying to get. Thank you.
All right, so. But looking around, one of the other ships that you do see seems to be landing on your asteroid. So it's, again, about the size of what would be just a general shuttle. So that you would probably see coming from some cylinder halves. And it doesn't seem to be opening up, but it is it is holding position probably about 120 yards from where you are.
Okay, even if it wasn't on purpose, that's our ride.
Yep. So, and when we came out, there was no one waiting for us here. There's no one wandering around the gate. There's no sign. Are there any footprints or anything indicating something else or someone else come through here recently?
The only things that you see on the ground appear to be some of the jets from the AGIs that came through. Mm-hmm. They were all put. The ones that they actually put through were in tacos, so they actually weren't. They wanted to be able to make use of the microgravity, but you can see where that's there. But they appear to be missing.
What appears to be missing?
So it's like, you know that they were all scuttled. Uh-huh. So, but you don't see any.
We don't see the wreckage from them. Okay.
No, there doesn't seem to be any wreckage or pieces from there. So, yeah, which is kind of surprising.
Someone came and scabbed the parts, probably.
Initially, so yeah, everything looks. It doesn't. It's like it doesn't look like there is movement, but it does look pretty smooth, other than just what your footsteps or Slitheroid body parts right now are in right now.
Yep.
Does it look like there was a struggle around the area, or like any kind of sign of something happening?
Not that you can tell. However, anybody else can make an. Let's see. Is awareness still on here? So
Perception?
perception. Thank you. So.
Perceive, actually.
Yeah, I forget they did there. So everybody else can make perceived checks if they want to see if you pick up anything.
But, we actually all do what you meant there. It's the whatever skill it is in this system. Yes,
Smell hidden, like you do.
Of course, smell hidden.
Perceive. Yep, made it. You need, what, a 33 to be a better
Critical
success? Or whatever?
success. Yeah, that would be a critical success. So
No, I did not get that, but I did get a success.
okay. So yep. All right. So yeah, everybody else looking down at the ground a little bit because you were noticing it was swept. Yeah, this area looks like it was absolutely swept up. There are lines here that are way too smooth for the surface that you're on. And as you look a little bit closer, it's a little more disturbing that you actually see that the smoothness is on the ground is actually not from any kind of physical action. It looks like it was almost burned or fused into place. And that if you look a little bit closer, you can actually pick up bits of what look like glass or
Okay, so whatever was here was incinerated with something super hot.
And possibly. So yeah, it looks like that they whatever took care of if the tacos were dead here, they just burned them up or disassembled them on the spot.
I'd like to use my perceived success to look at the shuttle through my sniper scope.
Absolutely.
Just to see if I can see anything useful, interesting.
Okay. Yes. So as you're looking out, the interesting thing is that you don't see any of the boarding platforms opening up. So it definitely seems to be active, and you can actually see that through your scope right now. You actually do see that there are sensor arrays and cameras that seem to be going out, looking around, but nobody's getting out of it. The only thing on the bottom that's a little bit interesting is that a small, what looks like coring platform has descended from it, just since it's actually below its landing struts, and seems to be drilling out something.
Like a big auger.
Yes. So, but
and that
yeah,
auger is headed which way? Towards us? Towards something else?
Towards the ground.
Towards the ground that is basically drilling into it.
Huh.
Well,
speaking of the ground, is the thing that we're standing on, is this a natural formation, or is this something that was constructed?
Are you meaning the asteroid itself?
Yep.
So
I don't know. Asteroid mining may be relevant.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead and roll that.
Nope. No idea.
As far as you know, it's natural. So yeah, that looks like an asteroid to you.
Fair.
But yeah, it's a huge area too, because again, you're all down.
So, other question: are there, like, I don't know, radio signals or anything like that floating around up here? Not that I'm trying to tune into any, just is there anything that seems to be communication going on around us?
You are picking up a mesh signal coming from the shuttle itself, and it looks like it. And there's no roll needed for that, but it does look like it is connecting to a larger mesh network that is going to at least one of the other ships.
All right, and Jinx, you said that's bad. Don't just connect to random mesh networks. That was like part of the briefing you gave me. Sign me on with these guys, right?
Speaking of, you both get an invite to a TACnet network with me. The name of the TACnet network is Flippity Flappity Don't Take No Crappity.
All right, Brownie, gain a moxie for that. Or actually, flex. So take flex.
Vita Moxa will, got it.
Yep.
No, this is actually useful. It's not a Fata Box will.
So.
Right. Cool. And the password's the normal one we have, which is
Tail feather, yep.
Yep.
of course.
Well, it's shake a tail feather, but
You have to change the password every 3 months.
You don't. No.
But
Just have to make sure it's long enough no one can crack it.
but I will say that from the information that you can see that this is it just seems to be a normal mesh network as far as you can tell. That's like the interesting thing, though, is that you do see that there apparently is a lot of traffic going in between there. So something is communicating at least alongside of it. You can try to crack into it, but that probably means that you're going to need to get closer to the shuttle or figure out a way
that would
to...
require skills that I don't have. No, thank you.
Don't worry, I can give you protection.
Okay.
All right. So that being said, what is your plan? So you have one shuttle. It's like have as far as I know, you can link up to. You could try to link it to the communications.
Is the shuttle here a normal human design?
It's not. That's like from the distance you're seeing right now. It looks like one that you would see normally passing through between. Usually, actually within the inner systems, it looks like it is one of the ones that you'd usually use on Venus.
So that would be a yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a Venusian hopper.
Thank you.
Yep.
Standard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, let's pop up there and enter it. There's a hatch, right?
There is a hatch in the back, although it is not. It is not open though.
I mean, yet. We can dock.
Okay, we're doing that. So, how are you approaching it? Are you just walking up?
All right, I'll let Jinx take the lead
We
on
can
that.
blow it up. We can sneak.
I've got infiltrate.
Okay. All right. Is anybody else infiltrating, or are they letting Jinx go first?
Yes.
I believe
Sounds
in
like it's me.
Birdman.
Okay. All right.
That is a superior success.
Oh, superior success. Excellent. So, all right. So as far as you know, they are not getting up. As far as you know, they can't see anything. Let's take a look. See what
Circled
we have.
around, came from the side with the engines on it. You know, normal stuff.
Oh, darn it. I keep forgetting the old system. So, all right. Keep thinking this is die spot. So, all right.
No, this one actually works.
Yep. Well, Jinx, you are absolutely stealthy going along the rocks. You managed to go ahead. I forgot. Do you have a chameleon cloak along with your current build?
I do have a standard vac suit, which I don't think it would really count. I mean, I can make it look like dirt. I can have it change its color.
Okay, yeah. So we'll say that basically you allowed that yourself to go ahead and do that. You look enough like the regolith that is surrounding you at this point. But you can actually see as you're sneaking up on it they're all the cameras themselves right now. The one thing you didn't see from the back, your side of it, is that this is definitely a Venusian hopper. But it has way more cameras and sensors on there than anything else that you've seen before. In all honesty, what it almost reminds you of is one of the... Yeah, so almost like a dragonfly morph that has been modified and upscaled to a literal ship size that is just completely off right now with a bunch of sensors. And it's only by the fact that it's so concentrated on its goal, on its task right now, that it hasn't seen you at this point. You're close enough where you can definitely hear the drill pulling up materials through there, and what sounds like maybe some sort of industrial processor on the inside of it. So, you are. But you're about probably within 10 yards of it now. So. With this, and you found a safe spot where the other two can come with you without having to infiltrate any further. So, Asta and Koga, you can come along without being spotted.
Yep.
Since Jinx is in. So, you see the same thing that he does. They do. So, what's your next step?
Well, we're close, but there are a lot of cameras up there. I mean, check this out. And I sent some highlights over the TACnet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really seeing a blind spot. I mean, I can look, see if I can figure one out.
Okay. What knowledge would you like to use for that? So,
infiltrate again.
Infiltrate again. Okay, I'll allow it.
Appropriate.
All right. And if anybody else have a particular skill that you think you would like to use, feel free. So.
Could I use perceive again and try to see around the area, like try to find the same thing in a blind spot for the cameras.
Hardware aerospace?
Actually, yeah. Ashka, go ahead and roll hardware aerospace. See if there's anything that you could do that. That's absolutely great.
And that is out of 65. It's a 63. Freakish.
Damn. So good job. All right. Yep. So you actually have realized that you've worked on this particular model of Hopper before. Although most of the cameras that you're seeing right now looks like they're additions to the main frame of the body. You realize that most of these will actually have an issue where if there's enough glare in one of the cameras, it will actually overload the other one. So basically, it causes a cascade, a minor cascade failure.
So what I'm seeing is that they hooked up the cameras, but they didn't do it the smart way.
No. So, and if you manage to like blind one, it will temporarily blind the others for a second.
I let Jinx know.
Okay. So that means that you could probably get on the ship if you can, or at least around it if you could figure out that. So
if there's an on to get into. Because if they've turned it into basically a giant dragonfly, maybe this is just a morph.
So that's a
there'd have
potential.
to be some smashing pistons and whirling gears or something in there. There always
that's
is.
fair. Yeah, there always is.
Yeah. Koga, you said you were trying to perceive around?
Oh yeah, I rolled a 96. I saw the ground. It was beautiful.
That's some pretty fine regolith you got there.
Yep.
So with the information that that Astika has given me, can I use infiltrate with that info to blank one out and then get up to the hatch with everybody?
Yeah, you can do that. So just roll it and describe how you do that.
Well, that is a success on infiltrate, a superior success. I use the little light on my my pistol that I have because, of course, there's a little laser light on the pistol. I shine it into, the camera that's most close near to us, and they all, blink out and start blinking out around like a big wave. And in the lee that creates, we head on up to the hatch.
Yep.
All right. So, I will. That is absolutely successful. You do see that the different cameras seem to actually start focusing in and out, so it's registering an error. You actually, that's like if your muses are monitoring anything, some of the traffic coming back and forth between on the mesh. So you can see that there is more comms traffic right now that's going back and forth, or at least its data use has gone up. And you can start moving in on there, but everybody else needs to make a perceive check before you move up.
Double superior success. 73 out of 90.
73 out of 90, nice.
92 out of... Wait.
Oh.
Nope.
Shiny!
All right. So,
35 out of 70.
So after you're thinking everything's cool right now, so you're kind of, where were you moving? Were you moving toward the back or towards the front of the shuttle?
You said the hatch is to the back, yeah?
Yes. So
Back then, yeah.
okay. All right. So you're moving back there. You're the first one to do that. And I will say at this point, the first person to actually notice this, because you think you actually do see a hatch right now, and it does look like that there is a panel on the back, what you would see on a normal hopper, to just disengage and board. But it's really hard to hear anything else because you have. So it's like there's so much noise coming from this internal drilling platform that they have that's pulling it up. And you don't notice the last thing.
So I mean, there's actually atmosphere here.
Yes, there is a minor atmosphere on the planet too. It's very thin.
I mean, if it's very thin, it's not much noise.
Yeah. So, but it's not enough right now, but you're seeing it. So, but as you're going through, you are actually. Excuse me, Jinx is the first one to see that the shuttle apparently is starting to retract the drilling platform and is potentially getting ready to pull up. So
Through the TACnet, looks like they're done with their digging in the sand. We should probably just hop on and grab.
Yep.
I mean, we got our vac suits.
Actually, where's the
Switch
hopper?
around.
Is the hopper going up into the Sorry, is the platform with the drill and whatnot going up into the hopper, or
It's going into the hopper too. It's an integrated piece of technology on it.
do I know if there's a way from inside that cargo component into the actual operational area in the hopper?
As far as you know, since you've seen it before, I'll let you go ahead and make one more aerospace roll to see.
I mean, okay.
Yeah. This is just determining the success of what you were wanting to do.
I have no idea. I'm not going there.
Okay. Well, here's the idea that you get. So, you realize that, it's like that platform below you is probably large enough to accommodate you if you try to want to push yourself through it. Yeah.
Nope.
So.
Don't know. Not going. Engineer. Cautious.
Good. So I would say that's an option, but you have no idea what kind of damage that could do since this is...
I have an idea of what kind of damage it would do. That's why I'm not doing this.
That's where those grindy gear things are.
Yep. Could be. Could be. I don't remember. That's the thing.
All right. So, that being said, if it is getting ready to take off, so you can try to attach yourself in some way to this, or you
rope.
can... Yep. Binding yourself to that, okay. Or...
it links on. I assume it's got a magnetic end. You click on it, you zoom up it. Magnetic rope, that's what it's for.
So you could try that. So, or you could also try to see if you could get into, if anybody else has any kind of...
Well, I mean, we'd have to
like
get up to the
section.
door, which is, I think, what we were doing already.
Yes, and you're basically there. So,
Okay, so then...
Yeah, Jinx is what Jinx did. It allowed you to actually get near it without tripping any of the sensors. So,
okay, so we're hanging on at the back by the door. Jinx, can you get the door open?
I can try. I don't know.
Or would that be? I mean, would that be more a hardware or an engineering role? What kind of role would work for that?
I'd say probably hardware aerospace because you know how to disengage hatch lock.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yep.
that would be a perfect one to use. So.
I start typing the words. No, 1D100. 33, critical success.
Nice.
No, that's...
Click, pop.
Actually, no, that's... no, sorry, that is critical success. Sorry, I was going back to Delta Green for a second. So, you're right. So, good job.
It'd still be a critical success if it's under the skill. Anyway,
yeah.
Moving right along.
Yep, no, I was thinking of something else, so you're good. Anyway, you are... It's like, you managed to pop it out, and because you got the critical success, you not only managed to avoid the torrent of ore that comes behind you as it's pouring out, but you hop on quickly enough that when you look in, you actually see the sensors. There are actually weight sensors that are keeping everything in line. You are perfectly balanced for what they need. So
basically I pulled an Indiana Jones except with me.
Exactly, with the entire crew. So for luck has it did not.
I also looped the sensor on the doorway so it did show that it even opened.
Yep. So you actually managed to get that one. So good job, everybody. It closes up on you, and you're starting to feel yourself ascending. And as you're looking around,
the hatch leads into the operational area, the cockpit.
No, you're essentially in the back end of the hopper itself, which, as you're looking at it, is kind of amazing to you because what they have done is they've converted the back end to this into a drilling platform / ore processor that they actually managed to, when you look into it, set up a device where it was taking up the ore, disassembling it with a disassembler swarm, meshing out the ore processing that they needed, and then dumping the rest back down. So it was actually a very efficient exchange process that they had going on, and everything that you're seeing that they dumped out, which is bad for them, was almost pure titanium. So they were getting a lot of really good stuff in here. There's a door that leads up to the cockpit, but it seems to be closed.
Same deal.
Okay. So, all right. So, are you going to try to see if you could get in there, or?
I mean, is there atmosphere in here?
Yes, there is. So, it looks like it's just
normal human atmosphere.
Yes, it appears to be.
Okay. All right. Then sure. Any objections to my popping the door?
Not for me.
No, but would you like cover?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was counting on that part. 41, success.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah, you know what the normal procedures are at this point, but one second.
Oh, dear.
All right. You hear a grind. So,
A grind?
it starts to open, but it stops, folds back, and then you hear a voice. That's like, base operations. We seem to have an issue with accessing the the storage area. Can you please give a response?
So they're not talking to us, they're talking to base.
So
Correct.
yeah. It's a little bit weird because you just realize that there's mesh activity going on, but for some reason that's like somebody was like, it seems like they were talking like somebody was back here. And then you hear another voice that comes over, stating, I actually can't see anything back here right now. I don't know what's going on. Everything was blinded after that. That's like that weird flash. Give me a second. And Koga, this is about the time, like I said, since Asuka and Jinx are kind of focused on there, you're noticing something you didn't see before is, there appear to be other cameras and other visualizers in here as well, looking in the back that you didn't notice before.
I immediately turn on them and go, "We gotta get the hell out of here. There's another camera's right behind us."
No, we just need to disable the cameras.
Okay. So you do have other options. So what are you doing? So are you still trying to get into the cockpit, or
Or the other thing is just pop into the cockpit and see what's what.
okay?
So can I see through the crack? Is there someone in there?
Yeah, it's pretty hard right now. Go ahead and make a perceive check. So
Could send a gnat through.
that's true. So
I cannot see.
okay.
Maybe someone
So,
smaller can do this.
All right. So you're wanting to send a scout swarm through, or
It's a gnat bot.
Natbot? Oh, yep, absolutely. So yep,
That works.
that's easy. So you'll go ahead and do that.
Cast that back to our TACnet.
Yep, you can do that. So just with seeing everybody else here, everybody who gets the image in here. There is no one controlling this. So at least physically.
So is there like an AGI installed in it?
So, as far as you could, it's like that's the assumption right now. But at the same time, you do notice one thing that was a bit off is that, apparently, it's like where there would be a normal piloting controls and port right now. There's none of that. The only thing that seems to be in there are two Ghost Rider modules that seem to be linked into ports. So there's somebody alive piloting this. So
Ah, yes, the old Farscape gambit.
all right. So, but it's like it is still taking off right now, and you've noticed that the cameras are going to come back at least online that you're seeing at least right now. So, what are you doing to keep yourselves hidden? So,
Well, hey, it's been working great so far. Hardware aerospace.
all right. Try one more time. We'll see. This will be no, it won't
Or,
be opposed.
hardware industrial or just straight up engineering.
Yeah.
Take your pick. Native manufacturing.
Okay.
Whatever. Yep. It's a 57 under 65.
Okay. So that is good enough to where
To short out the internal cameras, because it's right here. Click.
All right. So they, as right now, you can't see it. But yeah, those. That's like, but both the voices that you heard previously start talking back and forth again. Like, yep, my eyes just went back here. I can't tell anything that's going on. That they want. That's like, they need to really get a good, different install right now. We'll have the nanobots take a look at it once we get back up. That's like once we get back up to the prime. So we'll take it from here. Just relax. Okay. So, just seems a normal conversation, and you are rising up.
Yep.
That's like into this. And from where you can see on the net right now, yeah, it looks like it is taking. As you're ascending right now, you can actually see one of the other ships that's going up. It appears to be a larger freighter that you're going up to. It actually looks like what we would see as a normal ore processing. That's like or hauler right now that usually would end up going between the Kuiper Belt and it's like the main planetary belts. So honestly, nothing you would actually see outside of a scum swarm. Though I will say that one thing, Aska, since you have the aerospace engineer, that looks a little bit off. Most of the it's like most of the plating right now that they that have been built here doesn't seem to be normally built. It seemed instead of being plated on over what would be the skeletal structure, or at least of the ship itself, it seems more like it was just there and grown, as far as you can tell. Just from the outside looks right now, like the plates somehow were just outwardly fused together. It's honestly kind of beautiful. And
so it's not like welded or
no, it's
nanotech together, or
yeah, like the thing that you could really relate it to is thinking about, well, how bones are fusing together too, especially to create a wholer one too when somebody is born, so or when a morph is created too, that it organically links to itself or fuses to itself.
So it's some sort of living metal kind of thing, maybe.
Possibly, but also if that's the case, that's Titany. That's really Titany. So
I will check my as I noted in the chat, portable solar archive, Titan Technologies.
Oh yeah. So
what do I know about this? 8. I make it under 60. Yes.
So
what's the book say?
Any particular morph or mechanical unit that can automatically create it's like a replicatable metal construct or a cellular metal construct is bad usually. That is not something you want to mess with anyway.
I mean, we're inside one, so it's fine. This is fine.
Yeah, that's still a will check though. At least for you, and you can choose whether or not you're telling your cohorts or not.
They might need to know. Let's see here. So that is a 60 out of 30. So nope.
Yep. So go ahead and take another 2 lucidity. So.
I mean, what do you mean another 2? This is the first time.
Oh, did you know? Oh, sorry. Yeah. So that's
I'm the one that lost a little bit.
The gate.
Okay. I'm going to use my Moxie and flip that. I'm fine.
Okay. So. Yep. It is not fun.
So, you know how Titans grow stuff and just kind of, exude metallic things that are like grown?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Looks like that. Just saying. It's probably fine. I mean, it's still a normal Earth-looking design, right?
Yeah, it looks like a close approximation of one. So, yeah. This is odd. But yeah, you feel yourself dock in there. Yes.
With that knowledge that it's Titany and grown,
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about the conspiracy theories and the rumors and stuff through the gates.
Mm-hmm.
No gate crashing rumors. Has anything like this been seen through any other gates?
Go ahead and roll that.
That is a superior success.
Superior success. The only thing that you recall that had come up. Are you talking about basically the replicated, the cellular metal, or the ships? So.
I thought they were ships made of cellular metal.
They are too. I'm asking if he's asking about the ships themselves or just the cellular metal in general. So
grown creatures that appear to be alive and grown, but not out of normal materials.
Out of normal materials too.
Not like organic materials, non-organic living things through the gates.
Okay, excellent. All right. So yes, there actually was one planet that seemed to create a similar types of construct, although it seemed to be more crystalline in nature. But the odd thing about those is that it was able to essentially liquefy itself in certain places for joints. So it was that's like so in this case it was creating some sort of like odd silicon based golem, so to speak. But that's the closest thing that you would see to this. So that's like you had heard information about some of the hypercorps trying to get samples back from there, but that's been a big control issue, especially back with the Barsumian gates. So
I will excitedly share this with my coworkers because it's so darn cool.
So Hypercorp's trying to harness this tech is what I'm hearing.
Similar stuff, yeah. Usually crystalline, not metal, but this isn't something we haven't seen through gates.
Right.
It's not just like this.
Yep. But you realize too that it's also pretty interesting too that just exciting because if the hyperwars could get like cellular metal that could grow over general endoskeletons of ships, that would be a really big thing.
Of course, unless of course it's controlled by a Titan.
You have to think about that. So, but
I mean, still
all right.
cool, but not that cool.
Yeah, it's not as good, but it's like
concerning. Just general concerning. All right. That being said, before you dock right now, Koga, anything else you want to do?
Right now, I'm just following their lead. They seem to know what they're talking about. I'm just here to make sure everyone stays alive.
All right, fair enough.
So, do you want to ready a greeting for anyone that's trying to board here?
You know what? Can I roll a bodyguard roll for no, just to find the best way to protect us? If one of these gets shot at, then maybe I can roll that.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Be the bullet sponge. That is a fail. It's straight up fail.
You know what? Standing right in front of that doorway, guns out, screaming, "Come and get me," is the best way to protect yourself.
Don't worry, guys. I got this.
It's not a critical fail.
Yeah.
Maybe not screaming.
So
quietly saying, "Come and get me, senpai," is what I'm hearing.
Exactly. No, the problem that you see right now is that you are in the back of a pretty restricted shuttle, essentially just in the cargo area. If you can try one more time to get access to the cockpit, that might give you some help. But you're basic unless you just roll out quickly or figure out a way.
I was thinking our best option is to literally roll out because apparently Slitheroids roll.
True. So you can do that. Also, just if you are using that, even though if you might not have the skills yourself, any kind of infosec or interface through your muses, can be also a benefit too if you're not certain. That's like you can do that yourself.
I'm sure my muse can hack through this military grade software. No problem. No. No, thank you.
All right. So, all right, but yes, you feel that you're now in docked in there. You feel yourself pulling in. You can actually see some of the sensors boards around you, noting that the atmosphere has been restored in the dock.
Okay, and we're inside a basically a freighter that was near, but not the actual ship that we're trying to find out more about. Correct?
That's correct. Yes. So you are on one of the outlying ships. But it's about this time. You can see that the door is opening up on the back end. But you can also hear noises coming from the cockpit as well, like something else is disengaging.
Huh.
What can my Natbot see in there?
Mm-hmm.
So what the Natbot sees, which they don't seem to be there, is that there are actually two apparently manipulator arms that are coming out, and you see that they grab the Ghost Rider modules, disengage them from the cockpit controls, and then disappear on the outside. So it looks like it's like moving towards something in the hangar.
Someone came and snatched Reg and Colin. Yeah.
So Reg and Colin, that's what we're going to call them. All right. So, all right. But you hear that it's right now where it's at least linked right now. That's about where you can see going on, unless you decide to try to move it out further. So, which will take skills there. But it does, as it's coming down, you don't hear anybody else around right now. But your muses are still picking up tons of that's like mesh traffic right now.
Yeah, not plugging into that. Weird, but no.
So, but yeah, but the platform laces down. You're not here. You don't see anybody on the outside.
As soon as we
So-
stop moving, I recommend we pop the door and kind of stealth out of here.
So,
By which I mean, Jinx gets us a pathway.
Well, crack the door and send out a gnat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
So, all right. Well, yeah. If you recall it right now, because or technically, if you want to, you can. The bay door in the back is already lowering, so your nat's still in the front. So if you want to follow the Ghost Rider modules out from there, you can.
So we could go through the front. That's also open.
No. So basically, essentially, two windows, two reinforced plates came down, and that's where the manipulator arms came through and extracted the Ghost Rider modules. Yes.
And did they close again?
As of right now, they haven't closed, but you can send out the nat if you want and see if you can see anything else there.
Yeah, you can skitter on out there.
Okay, so you looks around, and Jinx, since you're the one seeing this right now, you see
Tack
that. Yeah,
We're all seeing
that-
it.
Hmm?
We're all seeing it. It's tacked
Oh.
up.
I'm gonna have to restrict that at some point in time. I'm finally feeling
Came
like
out the
Ross.
pre-gens. Says so
Yeah.
right.
Gonna have to. Suddenly, I feel like Caleb again. So, all right. But yeah, you all see that there appears to be what appears to be large into other hoppers that are there. A couple of these seem to be rigged out for the that's like for the ore processing that you saw. A couple others seem to be just general flights, and where the Ghost Rider monsters are coming to seem to be a line of 6.5-foot. That's like gray. That's like brownish gray morphs that you are not quite familiar with, but both seem to link into one of the both the arms take and link both of the Ghost Rider modules onto. Does anybody have any kind of morph knowledge or or design or information like that?
It's kind of a stretch, but is it possible to use black market?
Yes, I will absolutely allow that.
I was going to say it's knowledge asteroid mining if these are mining bots or morphs.
I'll take the black. I will say, Asuka, you can go ahead and use. Yeah. Oh,
Koga's got it.
Okay.
7
well,
out of 60.
7 out of 60. Okay, so I'm going to say, Asuka, you can go ahead and do your asteroid mining, but that's going to be at
Well,
a negative
I got to
20.
find out what Koga knows.
Okay.
Then we'll see if I need to.
All right. Well, I say just getting different information that you can. So, but yes, absolutely. You've never seen them before up close, but you've heard of Suryas. So, which are meant to be either in one or two things, combat related. So that's like big nasty. That's like cockroaches that can take out, or they can be used for heavy labor, especially in a lot of microgravity environments.
So asteroid mining, yes, 8 under. With you said it was a minus 20 or a minus 40.
Minus 20.
So yeah, so 8 under 40 then.
All right. Yep. And with your knowledge, Asuka, you are realizing that if you had a mining operation, this absolutely would be something that could be essential with carrying things out. The weird thing that you notice right now is, again, it's not unusual to have morphs that are outfitted with Ghost Rider modules, but these are linking in a way that you are not familiar with, and it's a little bit
I'm not a
odd.
morph designer. It's fine.
Yeah. But even then, though, you wouldn't see that. And the one thing that's kind of weird that you particularly see through the NAT is that the modules seem to have a light on them that you didn't notice before that goes from green to red as the Surya seems to come to life. So that's really weird.
I'm not getting the context at all. There's an indicator light that turns green to red when the thing hooks up.
It's just that's just a design that you haven't seen on a Ghost Rider module before too, because again, it's just for carrying around. It's carrying around a cortical stack and making sure that an ego is at least mentally alive during a body too. So it's a weird. Weird addition you're not familiar with.
So why would there be an external indicator? Is what you're saying?
That's a bit weird too, especially since. The other
Also,
thing you notice-
why would they be like talking verbally in air when they're hooked into the same mesh net?
Yeah, this is all a bit off. So,
Can I make a roll for kinesics? I know it's like an empathy roll, but is it possible to discern from there that if when the ship was talking, is it talking more of a self, like, oh, the ship is talking about itself? Or
okay,
the person who's talking.
You're waiting to determine right now if this is just an individual, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make that. Yeah, I would say, yeah, go ahead and make that.
3.
No, these were two people talking to each other. As far as you can tell, these are just the voices right now.
Sorry,
You're getting
what I was trying to discern was the person who was not the person talking to the person, but the person receiving the call is asking to check the cameras. Can I discern that it was not like he sounded like he was talking like as if the ship was his own person?
Oh, as if that's like if it's own person. So, yes, that's it. You kind of get that from the idea that sounds like they were treating this like their own morph.
Yeah. Okay. Except they were both plugged into it, which is special.
So,
Okay. That's
yeah,
bizarre.
Yeah, a bit odd in terms.
I'm sure it's fine. What explosives did we have with?
Disassembler swarm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not big enough for this.
yeah, that
Well,
might
it's
be.
if you take out the right piece, but yeah.
Hey, disassembler swarm. You said the mining thing had a disassembler swarm operating to like sift out minerals and whatnot and dump everything else. Are those nanobots kind of handy dandy that we could reprogram?
You would have to have
Manual manufacturing? Yes, I do.
Programming.
And programming?
specifically.
That also, yes.
Yeah, but that would also be very difficult to do that on the spots compared to what that is, and depending on what it is, that would have, depending on that, could have heavy penalties. So,
I'll leave it alone then.
yeah. So, if you have some time,
Nano
to do that-
accidents are one time.
yeah. If you have some time, we can do that. That's me an issue. But the Surya seems to be the Link Surya seems to be moving towards the shuttle. So, what are you guys doing? I will say that from where you have from the NAT, you can actually see that in the bay itself there is an entryway that appears to be going into further into the ship off to your right hand, and then a couple other what looks like access ports that would be going into different maintenance service hatches going upward.
I'm thinking I'm ticked off at the firewall guy that's supposed to be our hacker that's not with us.
You don't always get a full crew.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. So.
It's Jason's fault, right? He didn't show up tonight.
Well, I didn't ask him to, and also
I know.
Yeah, he would be playing an Olympian at this point. He would
Oh,
be
come on.
in
You know he'd be
Olympian.
playing a Cyrock just to mess with you.
Olympian hacker, come on.
Nope.
There you
How dare you bring mine up? So, let me,
So what we should probably do is crack the hatch, and then I'll use infiltration to figure out just the right time to scoot on over to the maintenance area when they're not looking.
Well, I mean, actually, you're watching with the nano, with the NAT, so we already know. You can already time it. We don't need to open the hatch until we need to open the hatch.
yeah. Well, I would say before the hatch is technically already open at this point, so
Oh, well, that makes that easier.
It auto descended to at so right now you're
And
that's
there's
like it's
no one else walking around here except for the Surya morph thing with the Ghost Rider head.
as far as you can tell, it is not. So, Jinx, I will allow you to go ahead and make a perceived check since you're in control.
Yeah, that is crit success, 33.
33, excellent. So, yes, actually, it doesn't. It seems like the one Surya is the only person on the floor at the moment. So, but I will let you know that you do see, as you're looking around, the shuttle at the furthest end near the entrance that you're into the further into the ship that you're looking through. Its sensors are moving, so it seems like that's like moving. It's
Is it another hopper or is it a different design shuttle?
It's another hopper, but it doesn't look like one of the industrial hoppers. So just a regular shuttle. So
Okay, so that would be intended to move passenger morphs around?
Yes, so it looks like this is just a normal transport, but that one appears to be moving around, so that very well could have another Ghost Rider module in it.
Well, what I'm thinking is I can do a little bit more zippity zappity with some cameras if it has the same problem that this one has, and while those cameras are down, scoot on across.
Yep.
Okay.
Safety. Well, to the next problem.
Yep. So, all right, if you want to give that one, so give another infiltrate roll.
That is a success, superior success.
All right. So, are you trying to move all the way towards the entrance to the door in the hallway, or are you trying to get up to one of the maintenance shafts that you'd have to climb up to?
I thought we were going for the passenger shuttle.
Well, what I thought we were doing was just getting out of this enclosed box that will soon have some cockroach morphs crawling all around in, looking to see why the cameras are out, into the larger freighter down the corridor.
Yep. Cool.
Okay, so you're trying to accept in there too. All right. So, okay, yep. As far as you can tell, so you're heading down that way. That's about nothing else. 1 second. And you said you got a superior success on that, correct, Brownie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, that being said, you managed to get through without at least being seen. I will say because of where you're at, you do get another small view into the passenger shuttle, and there seems to be another pair set of Ghost Rider modules that are sitting in there, and again, oddly enough, are having a conversation out loud. So,
what color are the indicator lights?
Green. So it looks like those are. It appears to be some sort of activated, but you're hearing just general conversation, which is a bit odd. They keep talking back and forth. Yeah, no, that's like the thrust vector was a little bit off today at this point. Yeah, the Felicia is still asking for a lot of more resources because they're trying to build up their thruster fuel. We're trying to find enough helium-3 for them, but it's we have to go almost to the edge of the belt to get that. So it really sounds like a boring conversation that you would have at work. It is a bit off.
I
But
mean,
Felicia always causes problems at my work. That's all I know.
But to
Stika, it's not boring. It's engineering. It's fine. Why not just use fusion to make your own helium-3? I don't know.
Yeah. But you managed to get over to the door. But unfortunately right now it does look like that this one has a security lock on it, specifically mesh enabled. So you will have in going through here, linking in, or figuring out another way around it. So
That's to get deeper into the shuttle, into the freighter.
that is correct. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I could disassemble the bolt, but I think I don't know how many, let's say, charges this swarm has on it.
Yeah, I mean, no.
No problem. Well, I will let you
All
guys
right.
figure.
Hardware, aerospace, I guess, or industrial, which is more appropriate. It doesn't matter. They're the same.
Okay. Let's see. I will go
Jimmying
ahead.
the door is jimmying the door.
All right. We'll see what happens.
Boop. Oof. 67 out of 65. Oh. Missed it by that much.
Yep.
Now that would be, I guess, a cognitive thing, so I could spend an insight.
You could spend an insight on that. Yes, if you want to. That's like.
That lets you re-roll or no?
That would let you flip it if you want to. So.
Can't. Flipping it, not helpful.
Okay.
So nope. It is a fail. Nope. They did this one differently.
Yeah. All right. In that case, Eska, let me odd or even.
Oh, even.
Even. Okay. Oh, keep doing that.
Yes, the syntax is seductive but old.
Oh, it's there.
Of course, it's odd. Yep.
Yep. So about that time, so you do Yeah, you try to jiggle it around. That's like you at least taking two of the wires out because you're assuming this would work. And unfortunately, that seems to have activated a alert. So for this particular one, which
Great. Is it triggering any kind of lights on the inside here that we can follow?
So, no. What do you mean?
I mean, like everything else lights up, so why not the alarm system too?
Okay, so
Just checking.
Okay, so no, not in this case too. It's mainly just a cross wire on this particular door where you realize by accident you ended up flipping a switch, or at least flipping a sensor here, where this door assumes that it is that there is a vacuum that has occurred in the bay, and the alerts start going off. You can see the Surya that. Let's look up and start looking back around, and so that's to where this is. So you will have one chance to get away from the door before you. That's
Is there another door somewhere?
Not close enough to you. You could try to roll past behind the one occupied shuttle, but that means that you have to essentially. I'm going to give you an athletics roll to get there before you're seen.
Sure. What could go wrong?
Slither away.
My God, I made it. 19 under 40.
All right. So, you managed to
roll in.
Yeah, so you basically slither and coil in on yourself underneath the shuttle outside of its sensor, outside of the other sensors. Jinx, Koga, you are both out of the way since you were going off your original infiltration check, so you don't have to worry about that. But you see the Surya, walk up, and it looks over and sees the panel there, and it's huh. And as it's fixing it, so you can actually see it starting to pull different things together. Interesting little bit that I will say, Atsuka, you're the only one who can see since you're close enough to this. You don't see it pull out any tools or anything as it's going through. It seems to just initially hold the wires together, and the wires seem to meld. They just flow into each other and then are connected again. And as it's replacing the panel, you see that it seems to just flow back into the ship itself right now. There was actually a line that you could delineate on this hook, but you had to break when you were getting it out. But it just becomes one with with the bulkhead. So, but the Surya looks up and is looking around, and you can. See it to kind of start shaking its head a bit and looking like, for all intents and purposes, it's talking to itself. So, and that's so before it starts to look back, and then you do hear a voice behind you that's coming from one of the voices coming from the shuttle, stating, "All right, Jim, what's going on?" And the Surya turns back, walks over, and leans into the shuttlecraft. Looks like something else broke down, or there was a wire that popped out from this, but I don't see how that happened. Too. Do we have anybody else who's making repairs in the ship right now? No. So what does Phillips say? Did he see anything while your guys were pulling stuff out of the? The shuttle, and another voice comes out of the. That's one of the second voices comes out of the Surya. Nope, didn't see it either. Not sure what's going on here. So
he was a ventriloquist all along.
So, yeah, this is a bit of an interesting issue right now. So, but it seems to shrug and goes back to its job. So now you've gotten a little bit more of the puzzle here. So that
have we really?
Well, as you're looking in there, you're looking at something you've gotten from that too. There's two voices coming out of that Surya, and I was like, it's not unheard of, but there are particular Morse and other people, other ones that are set to basically house more than one ego, but it's not very common.
Usually in like complex equipment, right? Like a tank, like somebody's driving the tank and someone's working the gun or something like that.
Exactly. So,
This
for
could
the
also be a way to monitor each other to make sure you haven't been infected by something.
So that's a good that's like possibility for that. So definitely an option. But you're still in
Or it
this
could be a
area.
weird fork fetish.
Those have been known to happen before as well. So, all right. But that being said, you're still in the hangar. Need to figure a way out. So I'm going to take a small break. I'll let you guys talk right out and let you know what your next moves are. So be right back.
This is totally fine. There's no exurgent problem.
Nope. Reg and Colin and Reg and
They
Phillips
seem
and
perfectly
Joe,
normal
yeah.
guys. Yeah. Yeah, there's something wrong. There's definitely an insurgent problem.
So what? We gotta destroy the ship.
Well, I mean, this is just the freighter. We don't know what's going on with the main, freezer ship.
Yeah, I
Colony
mean,
thingy.
yeah, I mean, they told us, find out what you can, and if there's insurgents, blow the gate and then pop your stack, right?
Right. But I'm pretty sure we haven't been infected because they don't even seem to know we're here.
Yep, I agree with that. And I figured they would want to know a little bit more if there's more to know.
Mm-hmm.
Because we could just say, yep, there's an insurgent thing going on here. Send the yes/no back, blow it, and be done.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we should know what kind it is before we do that.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be as it might be, a corporation that hasn't screwed up and is using the tech without actually having screwed up yet.
Up
Which
until you
means-
said yet, I wasn't with you.
Yeah, no, yet. Which means there's still time to disable it before something goes catastrophically wrong. And maybe we don't have to pop the what do you call it, gate.
What are you thinking, Kuka?
Really, I'm kind of in the camp of we just need more information to find out what's actually happening here. I
Yeah,
mean-
which is tough since we have no way of getting around.
Well, I mean, we could just keep hitting around with these folks till we find another shuttle, jump on with them, see how close we get to the gate.
I mean, of course, also none of us have what do you call it? The mental stuff, the brain hacking thing.
Well,
So
Async powers you're talking about?
no, the thing where you put them in a cyberspace and
Oh, yeah, symbol space design. Yeah.
and lost the word for it.
Psycho something.
Psychosurgery, yeah, that.
There you go.
Yeah, none of us have that. None of us have hacking. It's great. Perfect for this mission.
Well, I mean, our muses can do a little bit of stuff, low level.
Yeah. That still means connecting to their network, though. Which I'm not sure. I mean, often, turning off mesh entirely, but then we'd have no TACnet. So, and it doesn't seem to be trying to get into our stuff. And as you know, I've got those extra precautions. So,
Yeah, I mean, if we can find their sleeping facility, we could. I know both of you are synths, so we could copy you into a Ghost Rider and plonk
see
you
what we
in
can
somewhere.
find.
Yeah.
Or fork.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, fork. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So what kind of plan do you guys think of?
We're between figure out how to find out more and report back that there's something hinky here and light everything on fire. I do have one thing I want to clarify, Aaron.
Yes.
Surrey are the space whales, aren't they?
That's what I was thinking.
I said Sirius, so I'm sorry. I meant
Arachnoid, maybe? That sounds more like it.
no, it's
Nova crab?
no, it's the cockroaches. I completely forgot their names. Thank you. I'm sorry. And for anybody else who's listening,
I was just thinking about a space whale with cockroach legs. That's where I was at.
that's true. So yeah, so this is
Yeah.
gigantic. This is the new
Well,
one.
they're
So.
sun space whales, so I mean,
it wasn't a space whale immersion ruined.
So, no, there. It's been a while since I've run them too. This is a particular it. It is. I will find the name here in a bit, but it is basically a cockroach based.
Roachmorph, got it.
Yeah. So.
Say no more. Really, no.
Yeah.
Don't describe it anymore. Don't.
All right. So, but yeah, this is one that is made for more industrial kind of ones. Think of another version of a salamander, so to speak. So, except
Right. So hardware industrial would be useful here, is what you're saying.
yes.
All right.
So-
What can I get from that? 'Cause I have that too.
Yeah. So for this one, so if you're wanting to use industrial on there, if that was the area, you could basically try to maybe use that as a lower level for ships like this to see if there's another way out or some place that you could get in more easily. But yeah, basically a lot of the issues right now do depend on the fact that you're only operating off of limited knowledge and the mesh right now does provide things. You can send your muses in to see if you can actually, that's like if there's particularly any other issues or concerns. Well, that's like hack, because I understand basilisk hacks are a concern for everybody.
Weird, but true. Yeah.
Yeah. But at this point right now, you're just only seeing it's like you're not seeing anything that has been a direct threat to anybody else too. And the only thing that is coming up as odd Titan base is the fact that this seems to be that's like this.
Well, it's just weird. It's just really, really weird.
There's some weird body sharing going on that you won't see outside of certain military applications, and also the fact that it seems to have an organic metal base.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. I have the ability Common Sense. Once per session. Nah, we're not there yet.
Okay.
Common sense.
So yeah, I mean, let's find another way through. Like, there's obviously got to be an air duct. There's always an air duct with a fan in it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, like I said, there are some. It looks like there are access tunnels right now that you could get into.
Okay.
That's like it's just making sure that you're doing that. Before you go in there, Koga, do you have any particular ideas or things that you wanted to try?
Actually, yeah. Sorry, is it possible to use the TACnet app to contact, because I have a positive ego trait of allies or a patron, or contact somebody who might possibly have some sort of blueprint of, or some kind of knowledge of the ship that we're on?
So unfortunately, since you're on trying to contact anybody through
That's right.
That's basically through social right now is unfortunately not available. So because you're gate crashing in a weird part of space. So, but if you have a knowledge skill that you think you could utilize, because the black market one was great. So with figuring out the morph right now, so if there's a particular, you could try to roll gate crashing if you want to, to see if that will pull information, since you are experienced in this.
All right. For gate crashing, and 26 out of 70.
26 out of 70. That's a good option. So. All right. So, I also sorry, but I saw the one. Thank you, Baz. So good to have you on stream. So, so our friend Baz is watching us and listening, so it's appreciated. All right. But yeah,
He is invisible to us.
So, but you realize that one thing that seems to be normal for at least some of the worlds that you're coming to, and the few gate crashing missions that would actually involve ships. So mainly that's like every once in a while that you've heard that they've brought in materials to build like a small ship on site and then try to get it up. It's rare, but it happens. Is that they will actually leave a lot of different openings for modifications on the ships right now. So if you have one of the people that is more familiar with aerospace, they could find another way in. So something that might be more exploitable than just the normal entryways. So that being said, ask Askano, and they can make a roll based on that to see if there's basically an educated guess to see if there's an entryway that hasn't been seen before here. So something that would be essentially on a scum version of a ship, a scum built version of a ship.
So it sounds like Koga's opened us up to another hardware aerospace to figure out another hallway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I made the
Did you make
actually with the superior success the Hardware Industrial a while back there.
Did you?
I thought
Okay.
I thought we had another access patch.
So yeah, you do. So basically, this is one. So this one would basically tell you the one when you're looking at it, you realize that there's one that you didn't see that essentially wouldn't be on what would be a normal schematic for you. That should be a little. It's a little bit more off the beaten path. So something that's like somebody that's modifying their own ships probably would make just to make things easier. So, but yeah,
Okay.
that's in the back, and
So
you can.
we'll go there.
All right.
Pop her
No
open.
need to make. All right, no need to make an infiltrate check for this one since you've managed to go ahead and grab enough right now, and your cockroach friends on the back will not see that.
Because they're busy. Yep.
Yep, pulling up right now. But yeah, you go up about a tier, and come out into what looks like a main hallway, going. That's like going across that's like the bow of the ship. There appears to be a couple things. Nobody's here, but you do notice that there are a couple of ectos that are scattered through the hallway that are apparently is giving just general information on the ship.
Ectos are like hand computers or tablets.
Or like
Yep.
flat screens just on the wall.
Yeah. So
All right.
All right. Well, what's the information on those things?
all of these seem to be just giving general ship information that you could see. That's like engine outputs, different things like that. I will say for this, you can. The one thing though that comes off as odd is current. That's like current crew complement / status. So you notice that it shows a crew for this particular freighter as about 20, but there are but it actually is not registering any particular life signs for morphs on there. Everything seems to be noted as active through as actively connected or disconnected from the flight system.
Oh, it's consistent with what they've been doing with the other bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It is an even number.
Yep. And they do see, and as you're looking around, that's like you realize that there's something else that seems to be running right now is just from there, it seems to be running a different program in the background. Although you can't tell just what it is, it just seems it seems a little more complex, complicated right now for the flight systems.
So would pilot help?
Yes, actually, go ahead and roll that. What's your skill at pilot?
55. I think Jinx might be better. I forget.
Nope.
Okay.
About
55.
the same, so.
Pilot air. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Wait.
Actually,
Wait. Pilot space 65.
65. Okay. Before you roll that, so because that would potentially be at a negative to this, Jinx, go ahead and roll a. Just roll your pilot. Tell me if you succeed or fail.
Fail.
Fail. Okay. So that just means that you don't get a bonus on this, Aska.
19. I make it by a lot.
All right. So.
19 under 65.
Yeah. So you're looking at this, and you realize you're seeing something that you've heard of before, but only in simulations. This entire ship is being run through a simul-space program.
Yep.
It is not. That's like there. As far as you can tell, there is not an active morph on this ship.
Right. So maybe all this is being operated from elsewhere, and they're viewing it through a symbol space, so it feels like they're actually wandering around a ship, but they're not.
So this is That's like, as far as you can tell, that might be the case right now. It's just that's like you.
Well, good case. Good thing we don't have any symbol space experts with. All right. How do we get from here to the? I guess the main ship is. I guess the next question. Or is there a way to tap into the symbol space without them understanding that that's what we've done?
That would be particularly to be able to do that, or to try to fool the system in thinking that you're part of the crew. That would be an infosec check. You can attempt. That's like.
How about?
Would our muses have that at like 40 or something like that?
Yep, they do have it at base at 40. So.
How about manufacturing, building a ghost? Does anyone have a spare Ghost Rider mod with?
No, that's what I was thinking
do
about
not.
their sleeving facility if they had one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you could probably take a look and see there. So if there's one here.
Can I check through these screens to find like inventory system?
That you can't do. I will say that's an interface check, though, since you're looking at to be able to find that specifically. So, actually, what is your? Do you have do you have a specific interface skill?
Yes, whatever my morph has.
All right. What's that? What is your interface skill?
I mean,
It's
whatever
not
the
listed
morph
on the
has.
pre-gens.
It's not listed in the pre-gen. Oh
No.
So I thought it would have. So all right. Let me take a look and see.
I've got
all right.
programming skill, but I don't have interface.
Sorry.
Right.
Okay.
I do have
So-
interface
Hardware
if you want me
robotics.
to roll that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say your muse would have that, and that's usually at like a base 40. So I'm gonna say that's enough just to look at. And yeah, you can access the inventory site, and you do find that there is a sleeving facility here. No, right
Let's
now,
go there.
but yep. So it appears to be on the a level above you.
Mhm.
But but you do know that there are still security measures going around too. Nothing that seems to be around. So how are you getting past those? With that, you can just walk past those and hope that they ignore you.
Or slither past them so they don't see us. Follow Jinx's lead.
Okay.
Infiltrate?
If you want to try the infiltrate and then work around that.
I would like to use. What is that icon there? That is that icon, and that is that icon. I don't have any. Well, I'll use a flex to flip that and have
Flip
a
that,
9
okay.
instead of a 90.
Okay, that's definitely
Probably a good
probably
choice.
better.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So
I'd much
yep.
rather spend a vigor, but hey, this is where we're at.
Yep.
Okay, cool, excellent. So yeah, you do see that around there. Everybody else, I will say, Jinx, you're focused on there too. Asuka and Koga, you can go ahead and make perceive checks.
Will do.
Sure. It is. Oh, wait, there we go. Yep, made it.
I made it as well.
All right. So as you're going
Mine's
back
actually,
down,
I guess, a superior. 50 out of, well, 60?
Yes. Yep,
Yep.
that's correct. So, all right. So as you're going down there, Koga, first thing you notice right now that is a little bit off, but you do realize it's something at least you've seen through different gate crashing, that's like or just general ships boarding right now is. Usually there would on a freighter like this. Usually there would be some sort of supplies around the hallways or whatnot, or that's like for some weapons, or that's like or basically just general repair supplies tools. None of those there. So
That's sort of not terrible, because that means there's no weapons.
that is not terrible too, but
Well,
in the same instance too,
Based
you
off
don't
everything
know.
we've seen so far, though, the wires have grown back. What is to say that they ain't just grow guns out and just fire whenever at will?
Yep.
Why did you say
So-
that out loud? If you don't say it out loud, it never happens.
I mean, this ship is completely pacifist, and
There
they
you
surrender
go.
whenever we
That's
ask. them.
exactly what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of wacky old engineers that have gone a little weird. It's all
Yeah,
fine.
That's another thing too. But yeah, the other thing that Asuka, that you are noticing here is that you do pass a couple rooms, which you realize what you've seen on the Ectos would be more crew quarters or whatnot. This just looks like this was created from rote. That this is literally a space and some areas that were given to where you think there should be some beds or a bathroom or something. But when you look in,
Uh-huh.
it imagine just a model house that you're going through that just has those as this is what this is supposed to look like. Hey, this is your world of tomorrow.
So
and
it's
your
like
future
special
toilet.
cardboard furniture.
Just made of metal. Just
Print
just-
standard model.
Exactly.
Except,
So
except none of it moves, none of it does anything. It's just what it should be.
yeah. So
Okay.
this is just more for show than anything else, which is a bit odd. So-
I mean, it's consistent with them operating out of a civil space for them to feel like they're operating in a real space.
So, and as you reply to that, you do notice that there are a bunch of other cameras there that just are, are setting up around there. So this might be recording back into their environment as well.
Whatever. They're either going to find us or they're not. We'll just get to the next spot.
Yeah.
What's the
All right.
sleeving facility look like?
Once you get up there, that actually looks like a bog standard sleeping facility, except for the fact that it does have a generalized fabber that off to the side that seems to be available with a limited supply of different nanomachines and whatnot, as well as its primary goal. It seems it looks like it's just creating different Ghost Rider modules as well. So at this point, if you wanted to, you can technically copy yourself off of that. Although, is there anybody else in the group who is efficient as with morph design, as use of bridges or anything?
I'm sorry, those words mean nothing to any of us.
I mean, my muse knows a little, but not
Yeah.
me.
So here is the risk that you can take right now. So as I mentioned before, you can definitely make forks of yourselves in order to put within the Ghost Rider modules and report back if you want to. Doing so would require you can try to have your muse control that, but that's at an inherent risk for more damage to yourself. So, or you can risk letting there is a linking up to the mesh and letting the system go ahead and do it for you.
Can't we have our muse link up to the mesh?
Or
Can we control this through ectos that are maybe around the room?
That's going to be let's see. I think search was a different one.
Knowledge
No,
engineering.
I'm gonna say perceive check to see if you can find one that's within here, and then that would be an engineering roll to see if you could link it in through there.
So first perceive.
Yep.
Do yes, and then engineering, which is actually at 70. 2. Yep. This is fine. It takes me a little while, I guess, with a 2, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yep. You managed to go ahead and take care of that. So,
So what did I just do?
So basically, you just hacked a control into the bridge itself. So that means
into the bridge. Okay.
Yeah. So you can allow your it is going to allow your muse to go ahead and actually create create a fork copy if necessary. So you don't have to worry about it failing, but outright too. But that also
the
will
ego
affect-
bridge. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking control bridge. Got it.
Oh no, your ego bridge. Sorry, there's a
Going on a little drive.
Yeah. So, and Hellspawn, just to let you know, so this basically would be allowing you to copy your own personality into another body. So basically, there's going to be two of you if you decide to utilize it. So,
Could
Double the fun.
could we throw a muse into a Ghost Rider and have it go in and look back and then report back via one of the ectos?
I do not think we can do that with the muses, so I'm going to say no this time.
All right. Well,
So,
I'll just create a copy of myself that's damned. That's fine.
Okay. So, is anybody else going to create a copy, or are they going to?
I'll create a copy.
All
I'm
right.
a biomorph. It'll take too long.
Yeah, okay. So we'll go ahead and do that. So that because you have those links right now, that's okay. But that being said, Aska and Coco, tell me odd or even.
I'll go with even.
Even.
I'll go with odd then.
All right. So first off, Koga.
Oh, I thought he was only rolling once. I figured that would be
sorry.
covered.
Oh nope, you're separate. Sorry, my friend.
Oh,
So-
okay. Then that didn't matter at all because it doesn't matter.
It's not party luck.
It never mattered.
Oh, he got
All
even.
right.
Yes.
And I
Okay.
got even. Fantastic.
All righty.
What could go wrong?
Okay. Koga, in this case, and being, I will let you know right now. So, Aska, when you were setting this up, what kind of fork are you making? So,
How
are we
good?
how good are you? Are you trying to go for are you actually trying to go for a full copy right now of Alpha Fork, or just going beta, or
I mean,
that's like beta or delta?
something that's good enough to go in there and tell us what's going on that we won't feel bad about just deleting afterwards.
I mean,
That's gonna be
the fastest thing you can do is an alpha. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
To prune it down will take more time, but
Then Alpha it is. It'll be fine. We're all gonna die anyway, literally.
Okay, but you have to realize too. So that's like if you kill that, you're literally killing part of yourself. So
Details.
But hey, your alpha doesn't have a kill switch.
that is true.
Ooh, that's not great.
I mean, for certain quantities, they're not great, sure.
Hey, you know what? We put kill switches. Since I'm engineering the damn Ghost Riders, I put kill switches in them.
I was looking at it as a feature, not a bug. But hey, do what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the idea of not leaving ourselves to be tortured for eternity is a good plan.
So, well, in that case, unfortunately, the two things that you see right now are one, you could download right now, but fabbing the kill switch right now is something that's not available. So
Okay, so be it. We'll just
Yeah.
have to crush the Ghost Rider mods like you do.
and a diamond core. So, but anyway,
Details.
you create those right now. They both respond to you in your own voices. So, and as far that's like you can integrate them into your TACnet, so they can report directly back to you.
No, dude, do not listen. They will report back through ectos so we can read what's going on in there once we plug them into the system.
Fair enough. So, all right.
We
So-
are not doing brain to brain. That kind of obviates the need for a fork in the first place.
All right.
I slap the other Koga on the back and say, "Next time, I'll take the bullet."
All right.
There
Fair
is no
enough.
back, but yes.
You can tap that right now. It responds
Oh,
back
is
to you.
is there a pair of Ghost Rider spots in this room?
They are links that you can see. So, there seems to be ports that are primarily made for all of these.
Plug us
So-
in.
All right. So, that's like you plug both of those in, and as you've seen right now, interesting enough, when you look at it from the outside, they flip over to red, which means that what you can kind of surmise that once it goes red, they're in the simul space.
Okay,
So-
guys, what's going on there?
That flays to there. So flip over to simul space. So Alpha, Aska, and Koga. So you both find yourself in the sleeping facility. So you can hear tons of activity going out from the outside. It's like the outside. It looks like here's like people are just walking back and forth down the hallway. You take a look, and there are a bunch of transhumans. So these actually look like just regular citizens right now, moving back and forth along the line. So you can see hear people talking in this particular hallway, making reports up there. There's not a ton of them too, because again, it's only about 26 total that are on this particular freighter. But they're making
Just
reports.
normal guys doing normal jobs?
Yep. So you can go ahead and you both can make perceive checks.
That's a likely story.
Tale as old as time.
There we go, fail.
And wouldn't you know it, I failed as well.
All right. So
Wait, whoa. One of us got a 75, one of us got a 15. One of us succeeded.
Oh, you
So-
got us 15. It looks
you
Oh,
got
I
a
thought that
15,
was
so-
you. Okay.
Yeah, no, you got a 15. So, you can actually. So, Asuka, you are hearing that it is. That's like the one of the reports it's giving is actually talking about the cargo hauler pulling up the titanium and it obviously being empty, and then reporting back on one of the other problems. They kept talking about some odd blips that they're getting across the screen, and that's like one to see about possibly doing a full ship-wide. That's a ship-wide scan just to make sure that everybody else is here. The other thing that you do notice is that they are discussing a project right now that is called Big Gate. So and you're not really sure at least what's going on in that. That's
Obviously,
with that
they're
particular-
fencing the yard to keep the dog in.
But they noticed right now that they are trying to at least see if they can finish off their resource collection right now, so they can link back up with the Tachyon Pass and give a report. Looks like that's like the mesh network towards Tachyon is not really active, so or at least it's harder to do it when they're at this distance from the main ship.
How far are we from the main ship?
You're about currently 2,000 miles, so you'll be able to pull in pretty easily. But you're the furthest out on the ship. So
Okay, so what's I gotta say, what's actually causing any interference between here and there? I mean, it's like we're out in free space. There's nothing here. There's no 2,000 miles is nothing when you got no atmosphere or anything to interfere with it.
That's a question, so that you're not really sure about.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, you could try to at least access through the ship as well. So,
All right, can we find a ship's log?
stuff like, as far as you know, stuff like that probably would be normally within either the bridge or potentially within captain's crew quarters. So you do, that's like get a log of that and easily find, that's like the information that you're looking for. So it, the captain here, actually, Koga, what is the name of the captain of our ship?
Blandly. Dirk Blandly.
Dirk Blandly. So
That guy, so unmemorable.
yeah, for the Titanian Commonwealth. Well, it's like well known. It's like asteroid. Yeah, you actually look. That's like the information up. It appears to be some. That's like a regular person from. That's like who was just a general miner, as far as you can tell. So, but the crew quarters that he would stay in right now is on the A deck, or the A tier, excuse me, next to the bridge. So, all right. That's like you could try to make that up.
So we'd have to move there in the Sybil space to get this information?
Exactly. So you'd have to physically be there. You'd have to physically be there.
All right. So can we pop up to the screens? It's like, okay, unplug us, move us up to like the bridge or the captain's cabin.
You can try it. Yep. You can go ahead and try that. So, all right.
Report out to other selves.
Yep.
Is
So,
that okay with you, Koga?
Yeah.
alrighty then.
Reconnaissance, why not?
So that being said,
why move around with the big crowd? Let's move around where it's easier.
Okay. All right. So you go ahead and disconnect. That's like you try to go disconnect. Koga, your Ghost Rider mod. You load back into your Ghost Rider module. You see you're doubling everybody else. Asuka, you try to load back in, and it gives you an error.
Okay, so the Ghost Rider module failed?
Not so much. The Ghost Rider module seems to be working perfectly, but you hear, that's like your fork that is in the Simmel space, here's unregistered crew. That's like a crew notification. Please report to, that's like bridge for verification. And
Okay, can I have this fork delete itself?
so that, that's going to be a programming.
I got programming.
Actually, well, I'm going to say that's programming just because that would normally be a psychosurgery here
Right, but
that
we
was
don't
more
got
so.
that.
So I'm going to say that's at a -20.
Sure. Oh, no, not at all. Nope.
Yep, and the funny thing is when that happens too, yeah, you try and that just not go well. So, and also in this case, go ahead and real Asuka, go ahead and make a will check just because you tried to off one your own personality. So
That was the fork that did that. I did nothing.
that's still trying to kill yourself. So in one way or
But
the
I
other.
don't know he tried to do that because I don't know he's stuck there.
You feel it as he passes. You're like, ah.
So that's
There's
okay.
no way for me
well.
to know this information unless he intentionally broadcast it to harm his root self, which is unlikely.
Okay, but yeah, you're being pulled, and it's about this time back
I'm
in
sure it's fine.
back in meat space, where yeah, you were hearing a couple of alarms going off.
Uh-oh.
Do you have that plasma rifle handy?
Well, it's a railgun, but close enough.
Close enough. Well, you know, is a railgun good enough to pop a stack?
Is it ever?
Well, you know, something went wrong with that module. He doesn't seem to be coming out of there.
Oh, I understand. Loud and clear.
I'll just leave the room for a moment.
All right.
Okay,
La 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 la.
All right, eyes up here.
all right, so that's like in a civil space, Asuka, you're literally that's like you're stuck in place, and a walkway is now kind of moving you along towards the that's like captain's quarters. Everybody else, what are you doing?
Real Asuka has no idea about any of that. I thought we were destroying the the stack that the Ghost Rider had in it. So if that's gone, then the ego's gone, right?
So, you'd have to. That's like. So, are you? That's like. Do you have a plasma rifle or something else you'd want to destroy it with?
That's
We
what
did say
just
we were
discussed.
bringing one along, yeah.
Just you. So, okay. So that being said, yep, you can give it a shot. So,
Things just went very quiet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think when
That's you, Koga. You're the
Yeah.
one with the plasma rifle.
yeah.
Oh
so
yeah,
you're
no,
at
I'm with,
yeah.
with the auto rifle. Yeah.
Yep, you're the firing. So,
Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought
Oh, it's okay.
he also brought a plasma rifle. I was like,
No.
that's fine. So,
I got a 58 out of 80.
all right. So, yeah, that definitely like impacts it. I'm gonna say that that's there. So, yeah, one version of you dies. So,
Just
I have
another
no
face in my
knowledge of this.
nightmares.
yep.
But all I know is he's not getting dragged in for interrogation.
Nope. Guess not. So, but
And we've
yeah,
still
but
got one Ghost Rider module that works. So let's.
you do.
let's
But
see
like I said,
what
the
else we
alarm's
can
going
find.
off, and definitely it's a plasma rifle. It did some other damage to
I'm okay with that
the
too.
ship right now. So, they definitely know that you're up, and so you. That's like, and it's about this time you can hear other doors opening. That's like, and looking around, you can hear footsteps coming through, and all
This
of
is
those.
in the real space.
Yes, so we are real space. You've already pulled Koga
Except
out
I
of his.
thought there weren't any morphs around.
So, not that you can see in the hallways. So,
Fair. All right.
Yep.
Coming out of the walls.
yep. That's about what's happening too. You see spaces opening up, and yeah, there are. It's like Ghost Rider and it's like enabled Kafkas. So,
It is just like all
Kafka
my
morph. There,
nightmares.
that makes sense. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the right word for that.
so sorry, remember the name of them. So, all right. They don't appear armed, but they are definitely coming because plasma discharge was sensed on the ship. So,
Well, I don't know. Brownie thoughts. Sorry, Jinx thoughts.
Well, I think we should get away from here, for one.
Bridge or off ship or what?
My preference would be off ship, but we didn't see any piloting controls in any of those hoppers anymore. Obviously, it's all through the symbol space stuff. I mean, we could try to plug Koga in, but I don't know how well Koga can fly.
As well as a chicken.
okay. So,
Chicken's actually not so bad unless they have their wings clipped.
Exactly.
So I will say
Oh
that
dear.
if, so that's something you might be able to instruct with as well, but or if you have the Muse option right now to link in as well. But yeah, that might be at least difficult unless you're. Although I would possibly allow an instructional phase if you wanted to do that. But but yeah, they're coming from here. So basically, you have the hallway that you're in.
Mhm.
So you can try to hop down. Let's the Kafkas are coming
This is
from the
kinda
opposite
crazy.
side.
We could talk to them since they seem to be speaking aloud.
Koga cocks his rifle and goes, I'm sorry, I'm not good with words.
I mean, I think that's a very communicative device there.
Thank you. I agree. Well,
That's
Jinx,
sort
thoughts, should we just open fire or should we try talking to him?
Or just run.
Yeah, we could just run. We can run, not shoot anyone, I guess.
Brownie, you're muted.
I mean, most of the time that's for the best, but we can try to run up to the bridge and see if there's a Johnny we can rip out of the Johnny cab and the joystick's still behind there.
Yep.
I like that plan.
Worth a shot.
Okay, so you're just trying to make a run for the bridge.
Yep.
We're not trying. We're going to succeed in running to the bridge.
All right.
It's all the phrasing. It's all the phrasing.
All right. So yeah, since you're just doing that, their athletics check. See if you can make it over to the elevator before or turbo lift or whatever before they can get to you.
And since they already know we're here, it's appropriate to scream parkour first, apparently.
Parkour!
I superiorly
channel.
athletics my way on over there.
All right. Ooh, yep. I see that.
Here's a question. Instead of athletics, because I have no points in it, can I roll fray?
Fraying's for actual combat too. So I will say that you.
If I
like
fire
right
a
now,
round off into them and then
Oh, I fail
run-
massively, so there's that too.
yeah,
So not now, but maybe later. How's that?
yeah.
Okay.
I will take that back because I apologize. I forgot you're on the ship too. So if you do have free fall, I will also allow that. So
Also failed. No matter which one it is, they're all the same.
all right.
athletics and free fall at 0.
So yeah, you managed to go ahead.
Sounds like a design problem.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is
Jinx.
This was a big example.
But yeah, Jinx, you managed to go ahead and make it all the way to the end right now just because of yours. Unfortunately, Asuka and Koga, you just kind of get almost Marx Brothers tripped on each other as you're trying to come out at the same time.
I believe you mean Stooges, but okay.
So works either way. I'll take that. But yeah, you basically kind of get around, turn around. You see both of the other, that's like the Kafkas, looking at you. Each of them has one of those dual Ghost Rider modules, but they don't seem to have any weapons or anything. They actually kind of look surprised, if you can say that. And one of them speaks up, although it's in a much different tone than you heard before. What?
Where were you coming from? Wait, who are you?
I mean, that's really existential, man.
Who are you?
We're the colonists.
What a coincidence.
So you're from what's it called again? The Tachyon what?
The Tachyon Pass.
Yeah, that.
So are you here from the hypercores? Are you trying to stop us?
Not exactly. We're trying to find out what's going on here, because, you dropped out of communications. And the gate's open, and someone found it. And there's a lot of really weird ships, and this is very odd technology. So there's some concern about who's actually in charge of what here.
Oh no. Oh, this isn't good. Well, we need to take you to the captain, so they'll parse everything else out. So,
They are completely out of. They don't seem to be hostile at all. They just seem to be confused about why you're here, and more that you seem to
Okay, well,
have.
let's go talk to the captain then. Sure. Sounds
All right.
swell.
And so,
So
this,
you promise you're not Titans, right?
why would they be Titans?
Have you seen the technology you're using?
Yeah, I know it's odd, but this is we're not. We have no want to come back to Seoul. We don't. So it's we had our time there, and I know this is weird. So, but this is also one of the reasons why we're. We had a lot of long story about why we're this way. So,
Okie dokie. Well, hey, we're here for story time.
okay. So yeah, they seem to
Show
be
us your
guiding-
engineering marvels. Explain yourselves. It'll be great.
Yeah. So yeah, they walk down. Jinx, what are you doing? You've heard this entire conversation from the end of the hallway.
And as I recall, Jinx had the explosive device.
Yeah.
The explosive analog, yeah. Infiltration, follow along behind, not be seen, just to be an ace in the hole should it be needed.
Okay. Yeah, I will allow that. So go ahead.
That is a success. It's a 0-7.
07. Okay. I'll do that. Hello, cat. So you just pretend to be a cat back there somewhere.
There's always a cat somewhere.
Yeah, there is. So.
Always a cat somewhere.
All right. Yeah, you can fly back up right now too. I apologize. I keep forgetting that Jinx is an African Grey uplift, which is one of my favorite things of all time. So, but yeah, you just kind of flutter about and come back down. Yep, I have the book open right where I'm at. So, but you both get into the elevator too. The other two are let's like get in there. They actually are talking to you just more generally up there. They actually identify themselves as four different. That's like colonists. With it, it's Tom, Jane, Elise, and Philip. So that are all. That's like say. Let me tell you right now. We were. That's like. We can't really give you like I get a full information, but basically, though, this is kind of our
High level's great. Just any clue as to what the hell.
So it's a lot of
Keep it simple.
so
I'm
basically
just a simple engineer.
it's basically a survival mechanism too. We can't exist in normal morphs anymore.
Why?
Something about the egos. So our egos.
Something about the egos. What?
It's I don't really know. It's not
Those tiny words. Not a biologist. Just a simple engineer.
So our the captain's going to be able to explain it to you more, but basically that's like our egos are codependent on each other. If we're in a body, we can't operate with just one cortical stack anymore. It has to be two, or else
Does this have anything to do? How do you mean bad things?
Well, just that we don't function too. Our egos seem to unravel. If it makes any sense.
Sure, close enough. Okay, so the whole you grew a organic gate thing. Does that have something to do with this?
A little bit. So, like I said, I don't understand
Also-
the technology of it.
Also, why are your ships able to just kind of, I don't know, heal metal and extrude metal on their own without, like, tools?
So it's there's a lot.
Are you sure you're not Titans?
Seems like you got a titan of a problem.
Almost an exurgent issue.
All right, but yeah, you reach the.
Also, if you don't want to go back to Earth, why did you open a gate?
So that wait, there was a gate opened. Is that how you got here?
Yeah? We walked.
Oh, that might not be good. Okay.
Right. Also,
So
how are you so far away from wherever you were because you didn't think you guys went through a gate?
like there again. There's
Simple answers are great. Just really simple, high level. Doesn't need to be nuanced.
He's
High
an
level.
engineer. I'm a guy with a
Power.
gun.
He's got a gun. He's good
And
with
the
the
safety's off. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I'm going to
So-
turn it back on.
How is it that you're not Titans or under their influence? Because it sure sounds like something's gone horribly wrong.
And that's when you hear the other voice coming from the bridge. You see another one of the Kefkas out. That's
So
because
why the roach bots? I mean, really? Roach bots always? Really?
Yeah. That's because there technically isn't a Titan involved.
Is or is not?
Isn't. So
Good.
it's not
Technically is a iffy word though there.
it's not a Titan. But yeah, you see another one of the Kefkas out there with both of those with the other ones. But it does seem to have a couple of not really clothes, but just more or less a cloak over it that seems to be a cap, almost
Roach
a
cape?
captain's. Yeah, a roach cape. So imagine the coat off of the really fat captain off of Wall-E. So it doesn't fit him
Fair.
anymore, but it's just there for show.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He's got a jaunty captain's hat, though. Come on.
Can't afford
Who
that
has
yet.
the
That's
cape
just great
here,
years ago.
Roy?
How is there not technically a Titan?
So, all right. So to bring this up first, my name is
I didn't ask you that. I don't
Molly.
care. How is it not tactically a Titan? Let's just get to the end of this and find out what the hell.
Well, I'm going to not be rude about this, too, because I'd like to know who I'm talking about. But my name is Molly Howard.
Hi, Molly.
Howard. We're both speaking.
Oh, hi, Molly. Hi, Howard. Got it.
So, to answer at least a couple of your questions, and before I do that, so you're not hypercore, are you?
Oh, no.
Okay, because that's, again, one of the things that we were trying to get away from.
I understand completely.
So, when it's like, when we launched, so that's like it was brought under the terms. We said that like that it was a generational ship, and that's kind of what we intended it to fully be. But we kept everybody in hypersleep too because we're hoping to get a certain amount of space before we could awaken everybody and then start the process.
The process.
So of waking everybody else up and then having people, exist on the ship. We actually had some facilities on here to create other ships right now. Basically, a
Sure.
manufacturing forging facility, but it was just
Sure,
pretty
you had
simple.
a big old fab make ships. Got it. Cool.
Yeah,
Easy.
it was
okay.
yeah. So we were trying to do that.
Mhm.
But after we got in a certain way out, so something went wrong with the other plan of this. So
The other plan of what?
we were we wanted to set up gates. We had figured out
Sure.
something with Pandora gates. The factors had apparently made one that could be grown at any given point.
Yep.
So that was really helpful.
Is it?
Well, no, it was good to get to materials back and forth too.
Back and forth from where?
Well, our ships. So there's the primary
To
ones
where?
on the Tachyon Tachyon Pass. It can link into any of these too, and we were basically just hauling things in and out to be able to do it. But
So like a little short hop gate, couple 1,000-mile gate.
yeah,
Weird. Okay, cool.
So-
That sounds problematic, but okay.
yeah. But we had AGI taking care of that right now. But we kind of ran into a problem that we don't know where the signal came from, but our ship's primary AGI seemed to came into contact with something akin to the exurgent virus. Although we're thinking it was a benign version of it. So the problem
It
is,
just
though,
means you haven't found out how it's going to go horribly wrong yet. I'm so sorry.
well, we've already kind of figured out how it went horribly wrong too, because all of us, even though we were asleep, we were still active in simul space to basically make sure things were working every once in a while, and it changed our egos, our cortical stacks. It basically linked us to each other, so we couldn't do anything else about it.
So an unknown influence altered your consciousnesses so they're dependent upon each other.
Yeah, that's
How is that not a
happened.
Titan again? Or
Well,
Exurgent?
Well, here's the thing. So, it wasn't a
Titan.
natural thing splicing us, and when we started dying off and we tried to wake up into our own morphs, it ended up saving us by doing this and trying to at least adjust us. These are the only bodies that can really handle the load right now.
So
this.
how did you get the ship so far away from the solar system so quickly?
Well,
Did the ship go through a gate?
well, yes. So
Where was the
thing.
gate that the ship went through?
Well, hopefully destroyed now.
Good,
Because we
okay.
don't want to. We don't want to do. That's because we don't want to leave any other trace behind. But here's the thing. So the other part that we had a problem with. When I said it wasn't exactly a Titan that created us.
You did say that.
No, the bodies right now, our AGI kind of advanced. It shouldn't have, but it did.
Okay, so your AGI bootstrapped itself somehow.
So, and yes, and we're just calling it Tachyon at this point because it kind of controls the whole ship, but it's just trying to get us further out.
So, but it's, as far as you can tell, friendly still.
Yeah, it's all trying to keep us alive right now. If you want to talk to Tachyon, we can let you. But
Here's the thing. The gate still connects to other gates. Whatever
So-
this is, I mean, I got no problem with you guys going all experimental. Hope you don't get your souls crushed, whatever. But can't really let that back into the solar system.
well, we don't want to. We don't want
No.
to. And if somebody
If
else
you've got a gate that works, guess what?
Well, the gate, the basic, what we're creating right now, the gate should just destroy itself after going through. It uses way too much energy to take the ships through.
No, I meant the little gate over that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Well,
it works.
That's small. What small gate? This one you came through?
Yep.
Shit! You see it. That's like see him going back. Them going back to the screen. That shouldn't be there. We don't know how that got there.
That's the problem.
Oh man.
Is it one of those technically things where you say technically it's not there, but it's really there?
No, it's there, but our ship shouldn't create it. We should have logs of everything else that's being generated from the ship.
Well, that would assume that nothing is interfering with your cognition, which obviously something is interfering with your cognition.
There's two of you in one body. Dear God.
That's just weird and kinky, whatever. But the whole you don't know what's happening, there's the problem.
So we don't want. That's like if somebody's trying to make a link back to Earth, that's problem.
I don't know that someone's trying to make a link back to Earth.
Well, link back to Sol, excuse me. So, but
well, I mean, that's not what I meant. I mean, I don't know that someone on this end tried to do that. The problem is it's a gate. Other gates can find it.
Well, again, we can just. It's like we have no problem destroying it. We know how to disassemble those things in an instant. It's not a problem. But
really?
We have the bigger concern that
that'd be a really good thing to know.
Well, my concern right now is who dropped it. We need to figure that out. And that's like, if you want to help us, that's great. So, but we would need. That's like, but at this point, we need to find out who. That's like, in the crew did this. If this is the log, and we are the only ship out here. So on this side, that's like on this side of the belt.
Which belt? Where are we?
So it's I don't exactly know. You'd have to ask Tachyon.
Okay, fair. But we're not inside the old human Earth solar system thing.
No, we're way away. So
and
I don't.
We're not in there in the Kuiper belt. We're there, and you're somewhere way far away.
Yes.
Okay. So, just a moment. So on TACNET, it seems to me the only real issue here is that they could get back to the solar system with whatever this is.
Well, the real issue here is that shouldn't have dropped it there means that even if we disintegrate that gate, they can just drop another one, or somebody can just drop another one.
So I think we do need to find help, since it's don't return at death, because who knows, maybe we are infected now. I don't know, but since we're still operating our own morphs, maybe not. I mean, I guess we help them. With the goal being that no more gates that go back to the solar system.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and call an emergency meeting of everybody. So asking them to go ahead and pull themselves into the suits. I'm not going to let... You are the only ones who really know there is in this room right now. So I will give you at least a bit of a crash course if I can. If you would like to link into the mesh.
That'd be great.
If you'd like to link into the mesh right now, I can give you a temporary skill. That's like skill.
Well, here's the thing. You don't know what exactly caused you guys to only be able to function with two of you, and a Ghost Rider and a morph, right? How do we know it's not on your mesh?
Well, no, that wouldn't be particularly on the mesh too. That's something that Tachyon initiated. So, for us,
why?
So, because that was the only way that we could survive after whatever happened.
What did happen?
I'm not a psychosurgeon, dude.
Neither am I.
So,
all right. I have a question.
Yes.
So, do you believe it could be somebody from your group that caused the make the second gate?
It's a possibility, but I don't know why anybody would want to do that. So
maybe they're the same people who caused you all to kind of malfunction the way you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not even a disease. It could just be simple. Someone's trying to pull a fast one on you.
So
yeah, maybe someone ran some psychosurgeon code on the whole database.
That would explain a lot. You wake up and all of a sudden nothing works. Makes more sense than magic.
I mean,
Well,
honestly, the AGI getting its binders ripped off isn't the worst thing ever. It's just you don't want that where the only remaining humans are. So far so good, but gateway back there not so good. So and it seems to be friendly, so that's good. But something happened, and you got to pin that thing down, or not good.
No.
See what I mean?
I guess no. I definitely want to do that too. So I'm going to call a meeting, just with
How are
everybody
y'all fixed
else.
for explosives, by the way?
Not a lot. We don't really need them.
Oh, don't be too sure.
Okay. Well, you just hold right now. So I'm going to call everybody a meeting right now.
Not a negotiator, just saying.
And so that's like we will call them down in the main cargo hold with everybody else, and then so see if we can get this at least settled out. If maybe there's something else. So we'll do that. So they go off to call everybody else there. Do you have what are you wanting to plan? So Jinx, you've been kind of quiet on this one. So what are you thinking?
I've been hiding this entire time, not in the room,
Yeah,
but listening
that's
over
true.
TACnet. My first thought was get away, find a way to get back to the gate, disassemble it, but that's not going to do us any good.
Okay.
It sounds like we're all in helping these people out. This particular instance of me is not going back at all, ever. At this point, why not talk to the ship AI?
Okay. So so you actually want to see if you can link over to the Tachyon Pass and see if it's willing to talk to you about this, or
Well, I'd like for my my cohorts to let them know that there is a third around, so I don't get shot as soon as something as soon as I make myself known, because there's no point in hiding anymore.
Hey,
All right.
folks, we have another person around, so if you get anything on the sensor, it's him. Fun fact.
okay. So just looking around while they're still calling everybody else back into the meeting. So that's fine. So actually, I don't mean to be a bother on this point, but can your friend, the other right now, still keep hidden? Maybe because I hate to tell you this, but now we have been so long in a state of implicit trust and being able to work with each other that I can't imagine anybody else with lying or how they are even keeping somebody a lie like this going forward. It's just alien to us.
I sent through TACnet. I bet it's Reg and Colin.
Okay,
Is it Reg and Colin?
Reg and Colin. Okay, the pilots of your original. So, all right. So interesting. Reg and Colin. So that's weird. So
Maybe
I
not.
wouldn't. So well, I'd have to say about that, but yeah, we do, it's like we need to. But yeah, just to give you an understanding too, our thoughts are linked so much right now when we're in this kind of body too. It just we literally hear each other's thoughts constantly. So and we're going to the point where now we're so merged right now. It's basically I personally don't think myself as either. That's like the one person or the other anymore. So it's just we.
So in other words, it's not one traitor; it's two traitors.
Which could be a situation. So, but why would you think it's these two?
I sent that over TACnet. I didn't say that out loud.
Okay. So okay. So at that point, okay, good. All right. But yeah, they will go ahead and collect everybody else, and so you can make general preparations to see about this. And Dan AFK'd for a moment, so if anybody else needs a brief break, we'll just go ahead and do that for a second. So,
Oh, a quick question.
Yes.
So, are they all converging into one body?
no. So,
I was
it
like,
just-
well, this is going to be open and shut case.
Yeah, so
fire.
this is. Yeah, so you get to figure out which Ghost Rider to kill. No, so
Looks like
No,
if I kill all of them, I'll be just fine.
no worries. So, but no, they are basically just bringing all the other crew members who are not linked, who are based in the civil space, letting them get into their Kefkas and go. And reporting back down to the hangar, since that's the largest area that they can converge in at the moment.
Yeah, I'll probably grab a quick drink and be back. But also, thank you guys for putting. I'm so sorry about my character.
Oh, dude, no, you're fine. So this is a little bit on there, and I apologize if there's some things I'm throwing at you that you didn't have character stuff prepared for. So,
Oh no,
this
you're
is
fine. I should have just chosen pre-gen. I was just like, actually, funny thing is, last game I played on Ross's game is, I was ready like, all right, everyone's gonna make a call on a marine most likely, and I made a business guy, and no one made a marine, and there was an orphan and a doctor, and I was like, shit. And this time I did the exact opposite. We needed a hacker. I was like, damn it.
No, it's okay. Like I said, you guys have been making some good calls right now, especially in a weird situation. So I like the skills you've had. So, Brady, are you doing okay? Any questions or?
No, I'm going to take that opportunity to take that quick break, like you said.
No problem. Is your camera all right? So it keeps like, I don't know if it's just there, but it
any
keeps...
devils lately? You look like you're on paranormal activity. Have to, like it's doing a weird like line shift.
It
Oh, it
looks
just goes
completely
out.
normal to me, so it's probably something.
StreamYard?
No, it's probably my fault. It usually is.
Okay, no
I can-
problem. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't about to, because it like flashed every once in a while and then it would refocus. So it was just, I was making sure everything
Oh,
was clear.
that is that camera that it does that.
Okay, cool. So I just wanted to make
It's,
sure.
it's like J.J. Abrams. That's his his trademark. It flashes a bit, and that's when you know it's Brownie.
Yep, they're just lens flares, so cool. All right, well, we'll take a break for a second and we'll be right back. So. All right. So.
Yeah, so my computer is actually actively in the process of dying.
Oh.
I'm going to have to finally replace it. So long as it's not leaking out the audio on you guys.
No, audio's been fine too, so I was just
Good.
making sure. So yeah, I was more concerned for your sake, so it's like...
And back, by the way.
Okay, yep, I saw you. So we're just waiting on Koga, but we... Hellspawn, so we should be good. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've completely sympathize with those. And I'm actually in the process of trying to do mild upgrades to my system, which I would love to get a video card, but
Those don't exist anymore in the real world.
Well,
I told.
I have to buy a whole new PC. If you want a video card that's not bad but not the best in the world that will help you get through, I have one that you could have pretty soon.
I'm pretty good right now.
Okay.
I have a 1070 that's been serving me well for a long time, and honestly, I'm just kind of mildly future proofing if I can. Which I would love a 370, but prices on those have been stupid.
I
So,
mean, I'm running a 1050. It's fine for nearly everything I'm trying to play.
yeah. So mine tanks through almost everything else that I need. So it's just being silly and overrun. Although the dumbest thing I saw is somebody tried to do a scalp price of nearly $1,800 on a 380.
Yeah, the machine that I'm working on right now I actually built in 2016 originally to play Fallout 4. That was the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
purpose of the machine. And I've, done a few things here and there, like the power supply was dying, so I got a new power supply recently, and now the whole thing's going out. I got a slightly better video card because I was still using a 960. But again, the whole thing's dying. The other thing that's kept me from upgrading this entire time is I have a 4790K, top of the line i7 that you could get in the fourth generation that is
Yeah.
still like this close to the really good CPUs. It has been this close to the really good CPUs all along, so what's the point? It's just as fast, but it's finally getting there. And Windows 10 is going to start stopping supporting the older CPUs too. So
Yeah.
Oh, that I did not know. Because I've got a nearly top of the line first gen i7 that's been fine for a long, I don't remember how long time.
are you on Windows 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where the line has started, but they've started dropping off support for the older CPUs.
I'll have to check on mine because I'm on the Ryzen 7s gen, so hopefully they're not dropping those out of line yet. So
I only concern myself with the Intels because that's what I had. So
fair enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I nearly killed the machine yesterday by upgrading I had 6 gig of memory in there and just was not cutting it for a lot of things. So it's like, oh look, it's under $100 for get 16 gig. All right, so switch out the old ones, put in the new ones. Nothing, no boot. All right, take out 2 of the 4 new ones. Okay, now it boots. All right, set the CMOS, put everything back in there. Hey, it works. Because here we go.
yeah, 4790K, 32 gigs of RAM. It's the best of the best that it could be for what it is.
Yep, that's absolutely there. So yeah, and it was just kind of weird on yours because like I built mine, it would have been over. It was in 2017, so it's just a little over.
I
4
honestly
years
think
hence.
that my problem started when I changed out the CPU and there's some driver that's still stuck in there because I went from NVIDIA to ATI because that was what was available that was better at the time. I'm convinced there's some driver in there that's still kicking that occasionally causes an issue, and I'm not going to be able to get it out. So it's either reinstall or buy a new PC, and
You might as well buy a new PC.
Yeah, so if it's that's
Or
there,
it could also be a fault of the motherboard that's hard to track down.
yeah. So
Way back
that's
in
a
the
little-
long before times when Voodoo cards were an accessory, they're the first integrated ones. Like, oh, this will be great. Turns out I was bitching at that card for years. It was the motherboard that had failed. Whoops.
those
Yeah.
are always fun.
I was getting blue screens for a while, but I was able to track that down to an issue with, again, Windows 10 that's supposedly been resolved a long time ago, where you actually had to go in and forcefully use the generic SATA driver for hard drives.
Ooh,
And hey, it stopped blue screening, but it's still...
that's something else that shouldn't have to happen. So, but
Yeah.
all right, cool. Well, this has been RPPR Computer Talk. So has to go back.
Clinic. All right.
Back
Back to the higher tech that doesn't exist yet.
If this new higher tech is anything like the high-end gaming PC that I'm looking at buying now, there are weird, bright, flashing lights that keep changing color all over this ship, so...
But by the way, you don't want bright blue lights on your machines.
No, I know.
Probably not. So
It's hard to
Circadian
find
rhythm. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's hard to find a good one that doesn't have those, so...
yeah, just self build in the dark if you can.
Nice dimly glowing red lights. They're good.
All right, back on the ship that shouldn't exist. So,
And shouldn't be where it is.
yeah. So the captains have decided to have gone ahead and taking you down back towards the That's back towards the hangar bay, where all of the other crew has decided to converge in their Kefkas. And as said before, there are about there technically are that's like 13 total Kefkas that are down here that are complementing the actual 26 crew members total. So that you are seeing each of those in their link kind of talking to, and others are showing general surprise to see that there are three other normal morphs right now. It's like
Whoa. Have they seen Jinx yet?
That is the other question before we go down. So, Jinx,
Um,
are you continuing to infiltrate and make sure that you're out of sight?
I'm taking that advice, and just being that wild card.
Okay, so in that case, and just to make sure I was clear on that, you were letting the captains know that you were there, that you are around, correct?
Yeah, we were talking about me coming in from the cold, and then they said, no. Stay
don't know
hidden
who
in
to
case
trust.
something happens.
Okay.
So my intent is, if we're down at the cargo bay, is to position myself somewhere where I can see into the cargo bay with my sniper rifle and cover the area,
Yep.
but not make it obvious that I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm also going to point out it's getting towards 11:30 Eastern. So
Yeah, no, we're in the end game here, so don't
okay,
worry.
cool.
Yeah, so no worries. But yeah, the captain's go saying, I hate to call this meeting up, but it's been brought to my attention that from our friends, that there is a gate that is down on the surface. We have, as you know, we are not the only being to allow that is Tachyon, and all element collection and construction is currently going towards making the final jump gate to get us near our destination, our system. So it's like as much as I dislike this, we are going to request that that everyone link to be able to share recent experiences and thoughts to make sure that we are not hiding anything, or if this is not it's like just a fluke that came up. So
what you're saying is you want us to link up with you guys?
I think he's talking about all of their people.
Oh, okay.
yeah, so you realize that's the case, and as you look at the captain, you see the second set of appendages on the Kefka go out, and yeah, it does form what look like to be some sort of connectors. So that are going out. A couple of the others start connecting in. So and they look like they are just in a starting to form a ring going down this it's like the corridor. Everybody else here, I will say, can either make everybody else here, it's going to be odd, but go ahead and make a kinesics check.
Which one looks nervous, right?
Yeah, but it's going to be at a -10 because you're looking at morphs that you're not aware of, and pretty
You mean
much
that
ex-humans.
not familiar with?
Yeah.
Okay. So kinesics don't have it. -10 really don't have it.
Okay. So
Engineer.
all right.
Too close, but yeah. What?
So since it has nothing to do with morph, what's your engineering skill?
Oh, okay.
I think he was meant that he's an engineer and thus he's not social.
Oh, they can't. Okay,
That's right. There is no kinesics.
I rolled
there is a
an
bunch
8.
of engineering, though.
Out of 30.
8 out of 30. Okay, keep that for a second too. Brownie, did you get anything?
I'd like to use Moxie to add 20 to my roll,
Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
which is good that I did because that is a superior success that would have otherwise been a failure.
All right. So, all right, you've gotten.
And on engineering, a massive fail, but that's okay. He's just oblivious.
All right. So,
Just
is
waiting
there
for
any
them
other
to give
role
me a
that?
straight answer.
Okay.
I asked a simple question, waiting for a simple answer.
Well, before we get to the other two roles right now, Dan, is there any role that particularly you think would be helpful to this?
I mean, I'm just happy to let them do what they're going to do and let us know.
All right. So we'll see about
I mean,
that.
it doesn't end any more badly for me than it could. You know, it's
Yep.
just-
All right. So I see the 8 on there. I'm going to make another roll. Brownie, what's the specific roll that you made out of your skill set?
It was kinesics.
Yeah, for the kinesics. And what was the roll?
It was a 60.
60 out of how much with your bonus?
Effective out of 65 with a 10 minus and the 20 plus.
Okay, cool. So I just wanted to make sure. Whew. Okay, so good on you. So both Koga, you're gonna be the second to notice this. But Jinx, you that's like from your perch, basically hanging up down with your guns out, you see the second to last of the Kefkas that are interlinking. One of them looks like he is, but then goes under where it towards more of the abdomen, and you see the appendage stretch more and go into the abdomen. So, not me to. Okay. So, and it's like, and the other one of the other Kefkas next to it just immediately shudders and looks like it's it can't control its movements anymore. So, and the other one seems not to have noticed because they are connecting, but it doesn't. It's like for some reason they don't. That other side is not looping back into it.
As soon as I see that over the tac net, it's that one fire, and I fire.
Okay.
Like
So
Koga with your plasma rifle.
Fire,
All right.
something I'm good at.
All right. So this
What?
is so you have the shot, the chance of the
What?
shot, but you are at the far end of this, so it's going to be a hard shot to do that without hitting anybody else.
So I assume with TACnet, I now know who they are both about to shoot.
Yes, that is correct. So
How far away is it?
let's see. They are at the back end of there, so you're looking at about 20 yards. So
Okay, because my movement rate is apparently 8/32. So I guess I
Okay.
could close to it. Well, they're going
Um,
to shoot first before I do anything.
okay, so this will be a surprise round, so it doesn't get a chance to react. So that's good. Koga, go ahead and make your shot. Do not miss.
Here's a quick question I have on my character sheet.
Yes.
For guns, I'm at 80, but the total says 100. Do I go by the total or the?
You'll
80
go by the
rank?
total.
Oh,
You'll go
well
by the
then,
total. So.
I made it.
All right. So, yep, that's a good one. So you've got to post yourself where you can't fail. Yeah. So that is, and you're using a plasma rifle, right?
It's a railgun assault rifle, so I think it's 2d down plus 2.
Well, again, you have the plasma rifle that we defined earlier.
Yes. But he'd have to look up the stats for it, so I'd go with what he's got written down.
It's pretty much a rifle is going to have
Except
the same
that
kind
it
of
probably
damage.
won't be as good.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
So tough right now. So 1 second. We will go ahead.
Search.
Traits. So.
There's a reason we asked for the plasma rifle.
Yes,
Yep.
this is true.
Star juice is extra sparkly.
Oh, the heavy ordnance. That's right. Sorry.
You're
No,
good.
no worries.
It's fine.
I tried looking up the sprinkler on the thing, going, "What is he talking about? It's not in here."
Oh, Star juice squirt gun, plasma rifle.
Yeah. All right. So.
Plasma
Oh,
rockets.
they actually. Oh, I'm so sorry. They switched it over to a spray weapon. That's interesting. So.
Plasma rockets.
Oh, that's not good. That's in the
There we go.
cone. All
Other
right.
common
So,
weapons include plasma rifles. That's not
It's a code. So
yeah,
like a
it's technically
flamethrower.
considered. It is considered a spray weapon. So I'm going to give you the option of not using that unless you just want to incinerate everybody else. So.
I'm gonna fire it.
This bulky two-handed weapon blasts a stream of Nova hot plasma at the target.
Yeah, this is.
I did say it was a squirt gun.
It is true. Oh goodness. Okay.
Damage value of 2d10 per action. Armor does not apply.
Yeah.
So
Until
2d10?
extinguished. Oh dear.
40
I'm
All right.
liking this.
So what I'm gonna say on your skill right now, you're gonna do that, but give me a luck check first before you roll any of that damage. Yeah.
all
Okay.
right.
Yes, Jinx.
I did say that I was saying, hey, that's the one, shoot him, and then I was shooting.
So you are shooting. Okay.
Is there any chance that my shot may, I don't know, scoot the thing away, make some distance, cause it to spin a little bit in the low gravity, something to get it, like, not next to some other things?
Okay. I will allow that since you technically saw it first right now. So Koga, hold off on your shot for a second. You're still gonna make it. So
Do you still want me to make a luck roll though?
no, you don't have to do that since Jinx is going to take a shot. So, but if it doesn't, yeah, this might be bad. So.
All right, roll in the sky. That is a 0.6 on a guns of 70.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's gonna hit. And what was the gun you're using? It's just a regular pistol or
It's a sniper rifle.
a sniper rifle? Okay. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Sure, that looks like that's 3d10 plus 10.
It is.
That's fancy.
Yep.
Mother of God.
SA,
see.
whatever that means.
Single action.
Single action, yeah.
Action.
Range 500, fixed long.
Well,
Yeah.
single action or semi-auto, either one. It doesn't really
Yeah.
matter for what we're doing.
Yep.
So that's
Oh, yeah, that
6
would be
plus
full
4
action,
plus
never mind.
5, so 25?
25. Okay. And on that sniper, is that any particular armor defeating? So.
No.
Okay. So, yeah, that is.
And really, all I'm trying to do is scoot it away from the group. So
That
if
is true.
a
So,
heavy slug
yeah.
hits it, it doesn't penetrate and just kind of spins it away. That does what I want it to do.
Yeah, so some of that damage will still go through, so you hear the guttural shriek of this creature, both almost in dual.
To say there.
So,
Very
and
with sus.
but it does push it out of the way too, and actually sets out. The others look on horde, and you see the other one that's there, basically just it's like reeling as its gut is taken out. That connector comes out. So that being said, Hellspawn, go ahead and make your roll. So for this right now again, that is going to be 4d10 plus 10.
Oh my God. Yes, I mean, oh man. 4d10 plus 10.
Yeah, that's what you meant to do. Yeah, the code thing does make that problematic.
10 and 18, 21, 24.
24 plus, so that's 34 technically.
Oh God.
And that is plasma, so I'm gonna roll.
And armor doesn't count.
No, it doesn't. So,
This is fine.
Well, pleasure
So-
doing business with everyone. Goodbye.
so you do manage to go ahead and do that. So actually, it is. So this is where the luck's going to come in here. So, and ask. I'm going to give you the last opportunity here because you definitely know this is the one you hit right now. Everybody is in chaos, but this is also but you realize getting any information and killing them off right now may cause a larger fight or riot on your hands if the captain can't get them under control. If you can grab at least one of the or both of the Ghost Rider modules before this thing burns up completely, that'll be the
okay.
evidence you can where they can
So
actually
what is
segment
that?
them.
To get down there? Athletics or?
That would be athletics, or I would allow free fall since you're in microgravity.
They're the same. It's 40
All right.
no matter what.
All right.
Is there anything I can do to boost that? Yes, there is. I can spend a thing.
Yep,
What's
you can.
I can spend a vigor, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That gives me what, a plus 20 or takes off L minuses or what?
Plus 20. So
All right, we'll do that then. That seems like a plan. Yes, then can I flip it also or no?
if you want to use your flex, you can go ahead and flip that. So
Okay. Yep. Flip away. 18.
all right. So that's good that you decided to do that because I would say in this case, if you had failed it, you still would have gotten it, but you would have suffered severe plasma burns because that's not going out. So, but luckily enough for you, you managed to go ahead and grab it in time. And the last thing I will do. So
How much plasma damage was that anyway?
It was like 34.
34.
Oh, okay. So I would have only taken like, I don't know, 20.
It still would have not been good for the more
No,
here,
it's
so. But they've taken. It's like, but you managed to go ahead and grab both of those, and so I'm gonna do one. Actually, I will actually allow Jinx. You can make the last luck roll here. So, just for this, odd or even.
You've learned not to give it to me. Cool.
Let's go even.
Even, gotcha. Even, you're lucky right now. So, because of this, the captains managed to not panic any of the other crew members, even though they've seen one of theirs go down, and two physical members of a group basically shoot one down and then take the Ghost Rider modules there from it. So they go into a damage control mode. It's like they come back up and say, I cannot thank you enough for this. I'm not sure what it's like what's going on, but we're gonna get
I'm sure
the
you'll
answers
find a
here.
way. It's not like we can go back.
So, but I can let you know right now. That's like we're going to destroy that gate almost immediately. That's like I'm going to send as soon as we get some answers out of these two. I can set that open for you if you want to go back. So that's like, but I can only ask you not to tell them what you've seen here. So,
Oh, sure, of course we would tell the people that sent us what we saw.
We have
here
no
when
interest
get
of
back.
going back to. We have no interest of going back to Seoul. We have found a life.
That seems like that should be enough information. So what you're saying is that the gate that's over there that we came through shouldn't have existed, and that one of these two clown jobs did it, or both of them, I guess.
So it would have to be that we will get the answers out of them. So especially since they tried to just.
I mean, we
can't fathom why they would kill.
Over tactic. Do we want to go back, or do we want to, I hate to say this, stay here and keep an eye on these bozos to make sure they don't do anything more stupid?
Well, are they expecting us back at any point soon?
Well,
I mean, they're sort of
remember-
expecting us to pop ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember if you could try to lie about the situation. However, like I said,
Why would we do that?
yeah.
No,
No bonds with these
no
people.
lying skills. All skills are very straightforward. Engineer, here's what happened,
I was paid to do a job,
and we did the job.
Yes, X threat. Going to destroy gate. And as far as they're concerned, it's over.
Right.
Okay. So do you tell them about? So in other
words, we're staying, eh?
Yeah. And the captains basically offer you a position, saying, "I know. I can let you know that essentially whatever happened to us, it's not infectious. It doesn't pass through. So
How do you know that?
They determined that. So That's
Who
like.
determined that? Anyway, I'll look at the data, then we'll make some decisions. But
Yeah.
sure, cool.
It's an ego-based thing, and it actually hasn't transmitted over the mesh. So it's something
Good.
that never came up.
As soon as
everyone
I
on
feel
the
my
crew-
arms start to give out, I'm plasmaing you first.
Well, we do have a strict arms race right now, but arms policy. But we'll discuss that. But you're free to come with us.
I mean, we got nowhere else to be.
Okay. But yeah, they do keep their promise. If you transmit what's going on, they basically state, X threat. That's like that there is a particular X threat, but you have been able to you are neutralizing the gate, and take that out there. So and that's like the others, the Kefkas basically decided to go ahead and destroy the gate for you. And also, they do offer.
Do they
since
tell
do
us
have
how to
cyber-
destroy the gate? Because they said they had a real easy way to make it go poof.
Yeah, they didn't really say anything. It sounded like an excuse. I was like, "Yeah, we'll make it disappear. Just go. You guys
Oh,
just
no.
leave."
Considering they have disassemblers in the ore haulers.
Yeah.
Yep, they came down there too, and they actually link one of the other or the
But I
processing
mean,
shells right
if
now.
they had like a kill signal that's built into these things to pop them, we could provide that back home so they could do that should another one pop up.
So okay, I will say that that is definitely a trust issue. You've earned that, but I'm gonna have to say that's a persuade check for them to give you that information. So
I don't
If
have
they-
that skill. Whatever, they can choose what they want to do.
anybody else can try if you have that skill.
I would
So,
like to try it. I do have persuade.
go for it.
Isn't that rolled up into like just provoke now? Into
I didn't think it was. I thought it was
think
just.
so.
Persuade's still its own skill. Just
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it was.
Deceive.
Yeah, I think it was still in there. So
Persuade. No, I did not make it.
okay, it is entirely a good argument on there. Though they tell you that.
I mean, I
that's-
understand why they'd be nervous about giving away the technology code to pop their own.
Well, they have
also,
no plans to come
the
back
guy
to
with
you,
the
but
gun
this is
was asking.
exurgent level stuff, so they thought it wasn't back there. So, and the fact that it's not literally connecting into another factor-based gate, so that's there. So yeah, that's like you go through there. They actually do have psychosurgeons available, so that's like as well as more ones, so they can disengage the kill switches for you. So those are not an issue at this point, and so you choose. You can live with
I'll
the
decide
Kefkas.
on that one after a while.
Okay, so
Let's make sure that nothing horrifying happens to us. Then we can turn those things off.
Nope, you don't. And the last thing that you do before you head off in there is that you actually do get an audience with Tachyon. So, and as you meet with it, the first thing that it tells you is it says, "Well, I don't know what I can't tell. I can tell you what I was. The only thing that you might know me from is what's called a Promethean, and that's where it ends." So
Prometheans were the ones that were like still in favor of humanity after all the mess.
yes, so that's it. They are rare, but basically, and they're more of a myth essentially. So
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's only several of the proxies are Prometheans, but we don't know that.
yeah. So nope, yeah, you can't really think about that. But that'll end.
Oh, we can
generational
think
gap.
about it. It's just
So-
bad for our mental health.
True. So,
Oh,
but that ends
man.
generational gaps. So questions, comments, suggestions.
We should have made sure we had a better mix of characters. I mean, we all know that, right?
Yeah.
That and I will put that on me too. So I apologize.
I
There's
mean,
skills
we
too.
had several skills that were useful.
yes. So
Or wait, I had several skills that were useful. But
I
that's
had,
only
the, I had the one that was repeatedly useful.
That's
hide,
right.
hide,
and
hide.
and eventually
Hide.
we needed the plasma rifle, so there's that.
yeah.
The one time I was like, gun skill, yes.
That is true. So, and I apologize for pulling a little bit off there, but there's one thing I wanted to do where the obvious X threat, the Exurgents, were completely benign. So, yeah, basically what had happened
No,
here
they're
is
still X threats. That's the thing. They're benign
Well,
until it goes wrong.
well, and their wrong thing about this was that Wyatt. That's like while they were in their simul space sleep, enhanced sleep or cold storage, the ship just ended up coming across, and that's like a Watts McCloud signal. So,
Wow.
it was just at random. Their onboard AGI tried to handle it as good it can, but when it shut itself down for diagnostics, because essentially it had removed the restrictions that could make it a seed AI. It tried to bring everybody else into it. It accidentally infected everybody else, and then created this Corsican link with each other, so that that's like when they tried to boot up
So
into
well, was
normal
it
morphs.
kind of screwed up, but it's better now.
Exactly. So yeah, they realized that they
Fair.
couldn't exist simultaneously, but when they linked together, at least in a pairs of two, they survived, and they actually could increase mental and physical capabilities as well. So they decided that this was okay, and they retrofitted the Kepka morphs to their own needs. So to the point where they could upgrade anything else, and
Why
they-
roaches?
yeah, and they were basically keeping to their own promise that they were just getting the hell out, and they discovered one of the secret projects on there, which was the Factor Gate. So and realized they could get further out from there. So, and by the way, that is something I added from one of my previous games, was a factor-based gate. So that's a little.
And one of these
Easter egg.
guys on the crew stole it. And that's how they had it with.
Well, it was basically just part of the ship right now with one of the other crew members. So
Well, I mean, did the Titanians build that in there on purpose, or
yes, so that was in there because that was part of the plan, is that they were going to basically try to use this as a gateway, a resource gateway, to make themselves more independent, find other exoplanets, and then that's like pull stuff in there as necessary. So, but only a
get somewhere
couple crew members do it.
Yeah, get somewhere resource rich and then set up the teleporter, the gate.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So.
well, but I mean, for their use or for like hooking back up to the solar system.
That would be hooking back into Sol. It was the
Right.
original purpose. So, but that was only a couple people who knew about this particular plan, and once.
So what were the scrubs that had built the thing do? I mean, are these the guys that knew about the? Gate? I mean, why did they betray the rest of them to build this gate that let us in here?
Mainly because one, you're absolutely right. They were a couple of the original crew who remembered this particular plan, because that was only set with a couple of those. And two, they just became so horrified with their own existence at this point that they wanted out. So
And they
were.
wanted out, so they're going to go back to the solar system and possibly infect other people.
And again, if like I said, in this one case, if you're in a combined cockroach body, you're not thinking straight sometimes.
That's fair. That is fair. They could also build other morphs. They had the stuff.
They true. But it's like these were. I would say,
Nothing wrong with a two-headed sylph.
yeah. But these were the ones that actually could, actually contain most of that. So, that's why it's part of the default too. So, but that's also stuff right now. I'm kind of wanting to, in a future run of this, maybe link in a little bit more. So, I apologize if that didn't come through as clearly. So,
Actually, something I really did enjoy about this is, the whole time when we were playing and like getting on the ship, I like how there was an air of also like, you can tell that they were more normal. Like they weren't like obviously hostile. There was hints of it like throughout, and it was the grand reveal. Even like with the voice filter on, it's like they're very casual. Like, what are you doing? What? And so we have all these guns, and we're just like, yes, we're here to rescue you.
Yeah, and I'm glad, because part of this was just making up a story of like, these are at this point like regular colonists who just are a bit off at this point, and
I would included the banter then, some sort of like talk about the latest new sitcom about the two bots are one or whatever it is, but
okay,
not just technical talk. They should be like doing water cooler discussions.
Okay. So
even discussing about the thoughts they're having, because if they're sharing thoughts, that has to drive you insane at some point. Like, will you please stop thinking about the one dream you had?
Right.
You thought about it 3 times today.
And that's
and what's
part
her
of that.
name? I know. You enjoyed her, but whatever. Don't no.
And that's where part of it was a little more difficult, because I was trying to make it more alien to the point where really their thoughts are so intermingled at this moment that the people who fully accepted it, it was just they are essentially one being with just integrated personalities at this point. So they know that they're
they're not integrated. They're integrated completely, not just 2 by 2.
Yeah, so they recognize where they came from, but they always see themselves as singular at this point. So, and what they describe that as is like, that's like, we can disconnect, but we only feel better if we're whole. So that's why it's always the 2 by 2 situation. So, and if I could say I'm stealing for something else right now, thinking very Pacific Rim for drifting. So at this point, it's just one person. So, also, I will always try to put into Pacific Rim at any point I can, since that is one of the best movies. So, all right. But otherwise, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Brownie, Hellspawn, Dan. A pleasure for running again. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. So,
Yep.
And
Thank you.
If it's like anybody else who's watching this right now, if you'd like to join in these games, we run these every month through the RPPR group. I do not know who's running the next one, so could be anybody. But if you'd like to, the $10 level on our Patreon will get you access to these. So please consider doing that and joining in like these fine people. So, all right. So thank you so much. We will see you next time. Bye.
Good night.
Night.
Godspeed.